As you settle into this moment, take a deep, gentle breath. Allow your body to soften, letting go of tension, piece by piece, like leaves falling from a well-worn tree. The air around you carries a subtle, comforting energy, inviting you to be here, just as you are. Notice the gentle rhythm of your breath, in and out, like waves meeting the shore. With each exhale, feel the weight of the world lift ever so slightly, and open yourself to the richness of the present, where every sound, every sensation matters, and every heartbeat is a reminder of the life pulsing through you. In the quiet of the late afternoon, sunlight poured through the kitchen window, casting golden patches on the tile floor. The air was thick with the sweet scent of cinnamon from last night's baking, mingling with the faint aroma of coffee from the cup resting on the counter, still steaming and inviting. The dishes waited patiently in the sink, a gentle reminder of a meal shared, laughter exchanged, love served, with an inviting sigh. Sarah stepped into this sanctuary of daily life, the warmth of the sun cradling her as she approached the cheerful mound of plates and utensils, remnants of nourishment and connection. The bowl, once filled with vibrant vegetables, now lay with its edges rounded and smooth. The rinse of water, a whisper of gratitude for the sustenance it had provided. She rolled up her sleeves, the fabric soft against her skin, and turned on the faucet. The water's cascading sound filling the space with a soothing melody. As the water splashed into the sink, Sarah paused for a moment, drawn into its glistening dance. Each droplet sparkled like tiny stars, and she leaned closer, feeling the coolness wash over her fingertips. The rhythmic patter of water against porcelain became a lullaby for her restless thoughts, beckoning her to slow down, to be right here, right now. With intention, she picked up a plate, the surface warm, still holding the echo of the meal shared with friends. She turned it in her hands, feeling the smoothness under her palms, each curve and contour telling a story of good company and laughter. As she dipped the plate into the water, she was enveloped by the sensation of warmth surrounding her hands, and she could feel the gentle pressure of the sponge gliding against the surface, creating a tapestry of bubbles that danced and shimmered like soft clouds. Let go of what was, a thought floated through her mind, but she chose not to chase it, letting it drift away like a feather on the wind. Instead, she sank deeper into the present moment, noticing the way the water kissed her skin, urging her to savor each second. The sound shifted, a gentle rushing as rinse met rinse, creating waves of feeling that resonated in her chest, grounding her in a way she hadn't realized she craved. As she moved through her task, the world outside faded to a gentle hum. The whir of distant cars mingled with the laughter of children playing in a yard somewhere down the street, their voices high and joyful reminders of the life bubbling vibrantly around her. The sun shifted slightly, casting an amber glow that flickered on the wall, pulling her attention back to the water swirling around her hands. Here it is, she whispered to herself, her heart swelling as she immersed herself in this simple act. Each dish cared for, each rinse a tender embrace, each moment a fleeting treasure. The more she focused, the more the mundane transformed into a sacred ritual, each plate a universe of its own. Circling back to the connection it represented, a small fork slid from her grasp and clinked against the sink. And for a moment, a jolt of frustration threatened to surface. But instead of indulging in that impulse, she instead felt the cooling touch of the metal resting against her palm. She took a breath, mindful of the sensations peppering her thoughts, and allowed the moment to be just the unfiltered experience of what it meant to be alive and present, whether perfect or not. With a gentle shake of her head, she set the fork back in the water and continued her rhythm, letting the warmth of the moment wrap around her like a worn blanket. She imagined each plate and cup as vessels carrying love's small symbols of togetherness, community, and care reminders that these simple actions stitched the fabric of her life, helping her weave a tapestry that held countless memories and small joys. As she rinsed the last of the plates, she paused again, allowing the water to trickle from her fingers like time itself, each droplet a precious gift. She turned off the tap, the sudden silence amplifying the quiet, peaceful hum of her environment. She stepped back, eyes catching the array of glistening dishes now invitingly arranged on the drying rack. And a soft smile curled her lips. In this moment, she realized the power of presence, the sweetness contained in even the most ordinary tasks. Leaving behind the pull of future worries and the tug of past regrets, she breathed in deeply, feeling the fullness of her heart settle into a serene rhythm in the distance. The sound of the wind rustled through the trees outside, a gentle reminder that life continues to unfold, each breath a step towards deeper awareness, and each day offering the potential for fresh beginnings, no matter how small. Here, in this kitchen, surrounded by the echoes of laughter and the warmth of light, she felt herself anchored, connected to the simplicity that life endlessly offered. And as you, too, return to this moment, let the memory of the water's whisper stay with you. Remember that within the everyday gestures, simplicity holds profound beauty, a path to presence, where stillness breathes and the ordinary transforms into the sacred. Breathe in, breathe out, and carry this quiet awareness with you, nurturing the connections of your life one moment at a time. As the sun begins to rise, casting soft rays of golden light through the window, take a moment to pause. Feel the air against your skin, the coolness of the early hour wrapping around you like a gentle shawl. In this moment, make space for your breath. Inhale deeply, allowing your chest to expand like the petals of a flower opening to the dawn, and exhale slowly, releasing any tension or anticipation from yesterday, settling into the stillness of now. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on a stream and embrace the simplicity of being present. Today, we will join a story, not just with our ears, but with our full awareness, savoring each moment as it unfolds in a quaint kitchen. Nestled in a small cottage at the edge of a tranquil forest, a woman named Clara began her day. The early sunlight poured through the window, spilling golden hues over her wooden countertop, warming the space in a soft embrace. The air was fragrant with the faint scent of rosemary from the garden just outside, and the early chorus of birds serenaded her as they welcomed the day. Clara stood at the sink, her hands submerged in warm, soapy water, preparing to wash the dishes left from the previous evening's dinner. She felt the comforting warmth as it wrapped around her fingers, flickering, sensations dancing across her skin. Picking up a plate, she lifted it slowly, watching the sudsy bubbles cling to its smooth surface as she began to scrub, the gentle rhythm of her hands aligning with the pulse of her breath. The sound of running water filled the kitchen, a steady, calming cascade that seemed to cleanse not only the dishes, but also the very air around her. Each plate, each cup, each fork was a vessel of memory, whispers of conversations shared, laughter echoing through the cramped space of the once bustling dinner table. In this solitary act, she found a deep connection to those moments. Her heart opened like a door, creaking in the quiet of the morning. As she moved from dish to dish, she began to notice the simple beauty surrounding her, the delicate glint of the silverware as sunlight caught its surface, the gentle clinking of ceramic as they bumped against one another, a symphony of everyday life. Time seemed to stretch in the silence, and within it, Clara discovered a tapestry of thoughts, sometimes drifting, sometimes clear, yet always gentle. She became aware of the way her breath flowed in harmony with the rhythm of washing. With each inhale, she absorbed the richness of the moment, and with every exhale, she released any lingering distractions from her mind. The universe, in its vastness, condensed within the four walls of her kitchen as she surrendered to this simple practice, In her quiet solitude, Clara noticed how each dish held a story. The coffee cup from her daughter, embellished with a rainbow of stickers, reminded her of late-night conversations, the kind where dreams danced in the half-light. The chipped bowl from her mother, now polished and gleaming with the care of many, washes whispered tales of family dinners filled with warmth and kinship. Each item, almost sacred, invited her to savor the presence of memory, to treasure both past and present without judgment or hurry. As she continued, she felt the water's warmth seep deeper into her skin, soothing sensation that reminded her to let go of yesterday's worries, of tomorrow's tasks. With each scrub of a dish, she wove a softer thread of connection to herself, as if the very act of cleaning was a meditation, purifying not only the dish, but also her mind. Thoughts came and went like clouds passing in the sky, some dark and heavy, others light and wispy. Clara observed them without attachment, letting them float away. Moments flowed seamlessly into one another, and she marveled at the unfolding of sounds, the soft drip of the faucet, the bubbling of the sink, the chirping of birds beyond the window. It was a symphony that brought her fully into the now, anchoring her with its rhythm and sounds. Time hung in the air like the sunlight streaming through the windows, illuminating her space with a golden glow. As she rinsed the final dish, a sense of completion washed over her. She carefully placed it on the drying rack, allowing the water to cascade off its edges. In that moment, Clara felt the importance of this simple act, of how a task often seen as mundane mirrored the essence of life, itself an ongoing process of cleansing and renewal. With a sense of gratitude swelling within her, Clara stepped back to survey her work. The countertop was lined with dishes, glistening like jewels in the morning light, and there was a refreshing clarity to the kitchen space now open, inviting, ready for whatever the day might bring. Taking a moment to breathe, she closed her eyes and felt the warmth of the sun gently touch her skin, grounding her in this very moment. She was reminded that life, like the dishes she had washed, was an ever-evolving collection of experiences, each valuable, each deserving of attention. Before her stood not just a tidy kitchen, but a canvas for the day ahead, filled with possibilities. She reflected on how she could nourish this presence throughout her day, holding onto the essence of mindfulness as she moved forward in the quiet aftermath of her mindful practice. Clara felt a deep-seated peace settle within her. The morning had become more than just a routine. It was a gentle reminder of the beauty that resided in simplicity. She realized that in every act, no matter how small, there was a potential for connection, both to ourselves and to the world around us. As you, too, carry this story within you, may you find pockets of presence in every moment, embracing the dance of life that unfolds with each breath. Imagine a quiet morning, the world wrapped in a soft embrace of stillness. The air is cool, and you are here fully present, a gentle observer in the unfolding moment. Let your breath be a gentle tide, rising and falling, anchoring you to this space. Allow yourself to feel the rhythm of your body, the weight of your thoughts, and the beauty of simply being. With each breath, you create a sanctuary in your mind, a safe haven where all is welcome, even silence. Let us step into the day together, where simplicity reveals its profound depths. The kitchen hums softly, alive with the delicate sounds of morning awakening. Quiet rain begins to tap softly against the window, the rhythm echoing like a heartbeat, steady and reassuring. You stand before the sink, hands immersed in warm, soapy water. Each dish is a portal, an invitation to connect with the present moment. Chipped mug, a dinner plate glistening with remnants of breakfast, a fork that has danced between flavors of yesterday. As you reach for the first dish, The coolness of the ceramic greets your fingertips, the contrast against the warmth of the water. Feel how the foam envelops the plate, each bubble a tiny universe of shimmering reflections. The scent of soap is fresh and clean, mingling with the earthy aroma of rain-soaked soil outside. There is beauty in this mundane task, a dance of water and air, a cleansing ritual that unfurls before you as you begin to scrub. The gentle squeak of the sponge against the dishes sounds like a whisper, a quiet conversation between you and the porcelain. With each stroke, let your breath follow the motion. Inhale as you lift the sponge, and exhale as you release it onto the plate. In this simple action, the mind may wander, tempted by thoughts of the day ahead, the tasks yet to be completed. Notice this tendency, like leaves drifting on a stream. Then gently guide your focus back to the sensations at hand. Bubbles cascade down the sides of the plate like tiny dancers, swirling and twisting, gliding into the water's embrace. Each bubble is transient, a fleeting moment that captures light before bursting, reminding you of the beauty and impermanence. Here, in this act of washing, you are creating space, cleansing not only the dishes, but also the mind, washing away the clinging to what is not here and nurturing an awareness of what is. Outside, the rain deepens, its melody shifting from a gentle patter to a symphony, each droplet a note in a nature's hymn. The window steams with the warmth of your kitchen, and through the haze, you catch glimpses of the world beyond a leaf that dances in the breeze. A bird in search of shelter, the earth glistening with the gift of rain. The kitchen envelops you in a cocoon of warmth and familiarity. The walls cradle your presence, and the cadence of your movements becomes a meditational, deliberate, sacred act of care. Mindful awareness expands as you move from each dish to the next, a mindful progression, like the passing of the seasons. Here lies the unfolding of now. With the rhythm of water, you notice more of the weight of the sponge in your hand, the temperature of the water, the sound of your breath synchronizing with the rain's delicate patter. Thoughts may arise, like clouds drifting in an endless sky, plans for the week, worries that tug at you, dreams lightly dancing at the edges of awareness. Acknowledge them without judgment. Then return to the sensations. What essence remains in your hands? What textures? Cradle your fingers. As the last dish slips from the soapy embrace, you take a moment to stand in stillness, both physically and within. Rotary sounds of the water swirling down the drain create a quiet backdrop, a soft whisper of release. You gaze at the clean dishes, now resting like a constellation of clarity and purpose. Their surfaces reflect the warm light of the kitchen, sparkling as if they too understand the joy of simplicity. You wiped your hands dry on a soft cloth, the fabric warm and familiar, each fiber a reminder of tactile presence. And in that moment, you could close your eyes and breathe deeply, feeling the rich aroma of rain mingle with a sense of home within your heart. With every breath, you gather the stillness around you, feeling it weave into the very fabric of your being. And for just a heartbeat, you are aware of the peace in simple tasks, the serenity that arises from mindful motion. The rain outside slows to a drizzle. Even the sound shifts, becoming softer, as if inviting the world back into calm. There is a clarity that blossoms within, a blossoming connection to the essential lesson of the moment. Here is life in its gentle unfolding, inviting you, time and again, to engage fully, to breathe deeply, to immerse yourself in the miracle of this very moment. As you step away from the kitchen sink, let the experience linger like warmth after a comforting meal. Each dish washed is a reminder that presence resides in the most ordinary of gestures, where mindfulness anchors you in the flow of life. You carry with you the gentle rhythm of raindrops, the hum of your breath, and the quiet realization that within simplicity lies the doorway to deep peace. Each moment is a chance to start anew, each task a gentle nudge to return to yourself, inviting you back home over and over again. Imagine, for a moment, the world outside your window, where the sky meets the earth in an embrace of soft gray hues. Listen closely to the gentle patter of raindrops on the rooftop, each drop carrying its own unique rhythm. With every breath you take, let the weight of your day drift softly away like clouds parting in a gentle breeze. As you settle into the here and now, allow your thoughts to flow like water, recognizing them without judgment and inviting a sense of calm to wash over you. Here, in the sacred space of the present, there is nothing to do, nowhere to be, only the soothing sound of rain, the quiet heartbeat of this moment. It was late afternoon, the sky cloaked in a tender shroud of clouds. As Marla stood at the kitchen sink, the familiar warmth of worn ceramic beneath her hands, stay, the dishes awaited her with silent anticipation. Each item held its own story, the chipped blue plate from a cozy dinner with friends, the tiny gold-rimmed cup, cherished since childhood, rings of laughter still echoing within its fragile walls. As she turned on the tap, a soft cascade of water tumbled into the basin, shimmering droplets dancing in the dim light. The sound of rushing water enveloped her like a gentle embrace, its rhythm soothing the creases of her thoughts. Marla let her fingers dive beneath the surface, feeling the coolness of the water contrast against the warmth of her skin. With each dish she lifted, she invited a willingness to be present, each moment settling into a comfortable stillness, the sponge cradled in her palm. She squeezed it gently, watching as it released a frothy stream of soap that sparkled in the light. The scent of fresh lemon filled her senses, clean and bright, mingling with the earthy fragrance of the rain-soaked air wafting in through the slightly open window. Marla inhaled deeply, allowing the aroma to linger each breath, calming her spirit. Marking the edges of the world outside, she picked up the first plate, its surface warm and smooth against her fingertips. There was something meditative about the act of washing, each sweep of the sponge, a gentle caress, a movement that transcended time. As the plate slipped through her hands, she felt the warm water drip onto her wrist, tiny beads of life rolling down her skin, mirroring the rhythm of teardrops from the heavens. With each item, her attention drifted deeper into the present, the playful splatter of water as she rinsed, droplets dancing across countertops whispered secrets of unhurried joy. The clink of ceramic against ceramic, a subtle symphony of connection, reminding her of the shared moments etched in their surfaces: family, dinners, quiet mornings, celebrations of life and love in that quiet sanctuary. Thoughts began to surface like leaves floating on a pond. They illuminated memories of laughter shared, of moments wrapped in silence, of small gestures that felt significant in the grand tapestry of existence. Marla recognized the beauty that unfolded in the simplicity of these memories, allowing them to drift on by, each one a passing cloud in the expansive sky of her mind. A flash of lightning illuminated the charged sky, momentarily brightening the dim room. Shadows danced on the kitchen walls, a flickering reminder of the beauty found in contrasts, so of light and dark, of noise and silence. It was in this play of opposites that life thrived, breathed, and transformed. She paused, sponge lifted in midair, and listened to the rain's persistent patter. It punctuated the silence with presence, each drop a reminder of nature's imprint. In this moment, Marla allowed gratitude to wash over her, a gentle wave of appreciation for the mundane, for the shared meals, the laughter that flourished, and the shelter that cradles these memories. After rinsing the final dish, she turned the tap off, the sudden quietness wrapping around her like a soft blanket. Marla took a step back, surveying the now tidy counter, the sunlight peeking timidly through clouds, casting a glow on the sparkling dishes. The simple act of cleaning had transformed into an exploration of her own heart, an invitation to embrace the beauty found in the everyday. The rain began to soften, its melody shifting to a delicate whisper. As she dried her hands, a comforting warmth enveloped her, one that felt anchored, connected, alive. The rhythm of her breath matched that of the fading rain, each inhale inviting stillness, each exhale releasing tension. With one last look at the sink, transformed from chaos into calm, Marla felt an undeniable presence, grounded and aware. The layers of the day had washed away like the bubbles in her soapy water, leaving behind a freshness that sparkled in her spirit. As Marla moved away from the sink, she carried with her a gentle realization: within the ordinary resides the extraordinary. It's in the mindful embrace of moments like these that we can truly find ourselves woven into the fabric of life. It's forever present, forever unfolding. And as the last raindrop fell, she knew that peace could be found not in grand gestures, but in the delicate, simple acts we perform each day. In the stillness between raindrops, we, too, can discover our own serene heartbeats. Imagine, for a moment, the gentle sigh of the world as you close your eyes, softly inhaling the air that wraps around you like a warm blanket. Each breath is a tiny wave, rising and falling in the ocean of your being. Allow this moment to cradle you, welcoming thoughts as they drift by like leaves on a serene river, observing them without a need to grasp or push away. As you settle into stillness, let the weight of the day soften and prepare to embrace a simple, ordinary experience, the art of washing dishes in the quiet heart of a modest kitchen. Light pours through a window like liquid gold, casting warm fingers upon a sink that holds yesterday's remnants. You stand before it, a collection of plates and cups gathered as if they were softly beckoning you to attend to them, to invite your presence into the rhythm of their cleansing. As you reach for the first plate, the smooth ceramic is cool against your palm, a welcome sensation grounding you in that moment. The world fades, and in its place, there is only you and this dish, this fleeting heartbeat of existence. With each drop of water that the faucet releases, a gentle symphony begins, a melody of splashes and trickles that fills the air, soothing and serene. Let the water run ever so slowly. Listen, hear how it dances against the sink. Each droplet a note in a lullaby only you can hear. The sound reverberates around you, calming every thought into stillness. With the sponge in hand, you invite the bubbles, watching as they swell and burst, rising like tiny clouds to the surface. Each one a promise of renewal. The scent of soap mingles with the warmth of the sunbeam striking the counter, a fragrant reminder of home, of care, of nurturing the ordinary. You immerse the sponge in the water, feeling it absorb the essence of its purpose, becoming one with the task at hand. As you begin to scrub, allow your hands to glide over the surface of the plate with gentle intention. There is a gracefulness to this motion, a gentle dance. Feel the circular movement, a soft rhythm that mirrors the turning of the seasons outside. As the warmth of the water seeps into your fingers, and you can feel the tension dissolving with each stroke. You are here, fully present, a simple act becoming a profound meditation. Glancing out the window, catch a glimpse of the world outside, a tree swaying lightly, leaves shimmering in the breeze, a reminder of the life that buzzes around you, oblivious to your slow, cleansing ritual. In this moment, you are unhurried, flowing with the rhythm of the everyday. As the plates begin to stack neatly beside you, a sense of accomplishment stirs within. One by one, each dish becomes a canvas that reflects your attention, your mindfulness, like a mirror reflecting your heart. You pause to notice the droplets that cling to the edges, sparkling in the lighted, delicate moment that exists because you have chosen to be here, fully alive. The clatter of a fork against the countertop brings you back to your sensations. You reach for it, noticing its weight, the coolness of the metal cold against your fingertips. Turning it over, you observe its gleam, a small artifact of the meals shared, the stories spoken. How often do we forget to acknowledge these simple tools that navigate our lives? As you place it into the warm water, you feel a quiet appreciation for the life that is unfolded around this utensil, the laughter, the conversations, the love. Each piece tells a tale, a reminder that every existence has its own story, woven through connections that hold meaning. You wash with a soft intention, allowing the warmth of the water to carry away the day's residue, not just from the fork, but from the mind as well. The sounds of the kitchen are a delicate tapestry. The faucet's bubbling chorus harmonizes with the distant hum of life outside, perhaps a neighbor's laughter, the faint whistle of a kettle, or the rustling of leaves against the breeze, all melding into a sanctuary of sound that envelops you in its embrace. You become part of this symphony, and in this shared existence, there is peace, as the last pieces are rinsed and dried. You take a moment to reflect on the clarity that has emerged. In this simplicity, you find yourself. You have carved out space for breathing, for noticing, for simply being. The kitchen feels transformed, a sacred space where the mundane becomes extraordinary through the lens of your attention. With a final touch, carefully set the last dish upon the drying rack. In doing so, you realize that the heat of the moment lingers long after its completion. The act of washing has unveiled a deeper understanding of presence, a mindfulness that transcends time and place. You stand a little taller, feeling the weight of clarity and calmness envelop you, a soft embrace from the world as you turn to leave the kitchen. The sun continues its gentle descent, casting long shadows that stretch across the floor with a sense of grace. With a newfound appreciation for the ordinary, you take one last glance at the dishes, now clean and gleaming. A testament to the beauty that resides in the act of attentiveness and care. In the quiet aftermath of this simple journey, allow a moment to settle. Each breath carries the echoes of mindfulness, a reminder that even in the most routine of tasks, there lies an opportunity for connection, clarity, and presence. Let this awareness linger like the gentle ebb of water, embracing the stillness, and carry it with you, the whisper of this moment, etched in the landscape of your heart. In the early moments of the morning, when the world has not yet fully awakened, there exists a soft hush, a whisper of tranquility that invites you. With a gentle breath, allow yourself to settle into this moment, feeling the connection of your feet upon the ground and the air as it fills your lungs. Notice the gentle rhythm of your heart, the way it beats steadily, calming metronome in the quiet symphony of your surroundings. As you invite awareness into the spaces of your mind, let go of yesterday's worries and tomorrow's uncertainties, and allow yourself to be fully present, here and now, in the heart of a bustling town, Tanned, where the sound of honking cars and distant chatter blend into the hum of daily life. There lived a woman named Clara. One crisp Sunday morning, she found herself standing in her small kitchen, sunlight spilling through the window like golden nectar. The kitchen, a sanctuary of sorts, held the scent of brewed coffee and the lingering aroma of last night's dinner. Clara felt the warmth of the sun on her skin, a gentle reminder that outside, life was flourishing. She looked at the sink, filled with a modest mountain of dishes, remnants of shared laughter and nourishment from the previous day. A familiar sigh passed her lips, but today, instead of approaching the task with a sense of dread, she sensed an invitation, an opportunity to engage with what was before her. Clara rolled up her sleeves and turned on the tap, the sound of water rushing, filling the air with a lively cadence, like a gentle stream weaving through the forest. She watched as the clear water poured over the dishes, catching the light and transforming it into dancing diamonds, reflecting tiny galaxies in each droplet. The sensation of the water was soothing against her skin, cool and refreshing, guiding her beyond the ordinary. As she began to wash, her hands glided over the plates and cups, feeling the smoothness of the ceramics, the rough patches where memories remained just beneath the surface. The sponge, soft yet resilient, hugged the contours of each dish, embracing the task with humility and grace. With each stroke, Clara was aware of varying textures beneath her fingers, the delicate rim of a teacup, the ridged surface of a pan, a microcosm of her life held within this simple act. Her thoughts drifted like wisps of cloud overhead, teeting in light. What will I do today? It resonated for a moment, then fluttered away like a leaf carried by the wind. What will I have for dinner tonight? Arose, but faded quickly. Instead, she focused on the now, the warm, soapy water wrapping around her hands like a comforting embrace, the rhythmic sound of the cloth against porcelain, the soft sigh of steam rising into the air, wearing the scent of breakfast on its breath. In this tranquil space, Clara was free from judgment, free from time. A few minutes passed, or maybe an hour. She no longer marked the passage of time. The dishes became vessels of mindfulness, each one inviting her to explore her thoughts, both the joyous and the burdened. She pondered on the joy of sharing meals with friends, the laughter that echoed off the walls, the love that simmered in every pot. And with that recognition came a wave of gratitude washing over her, much like the water enveloping the dishes. As she rinsed the last plate, completion shone brightly in her heart. The soft click of dishes stacking together created a harmonious tune, a melody only she could hear, reverberating in the peacefulness of her mind. And just then, a memory arose, the laughter of her late grandmother drifting through her. The way she used to stand by Clara's side, teaching her to cook, invoking that loving presence, felt like a warm embrace, wrapping itself around her spirit and igniting a sense of connection beyond time and space. Clara placed the last plate in the drying rack, a sense of fulfillment swelling inside her. She took a moment to look around her small kitchen, the sunlight now fully embraced by each corner, illuminating the space. A reminder that life is present, alive, and brimming with potential. She inhaled deeply, savoring the mingling scents of soap, coffee, and warmth, each deeply woven into her being. Outside, the world thrummed. The sound of bird songs sifted through the window, drawing her attention. She walked to the window, gazing at the dancing trees, their leaves swaying gently in the breeze, each movement a subtle dance of connection to the earth. She could almost hear them whisper, reminding her of the importance of stillness, of being rooted even in motion. Standing there, Clara allowed herself to be inflected by the very essence of the moment. The sound of laughter from children drifting from the park nearby, the rustle of the leaves, the gentle chatter of neighbors, a symphony that welcomed her to simply be. She realized that life is a collection of moments, like spots of paint on the canvas of existence, each moment inviting her to engage, to feel, to breathe. With a soft sigh that carried remnants of peace, Clara turned away from the window, a warm smile lighting her face. Every small task, every moment spent in awareness, shaped the texture of her days, rich, vibrant, and full of life. She carried with her the knowing that joy and presence could be found in the most ordinary of moments, that even the hum of a household chore could awaken the soul. And so, as she walked from the kitchen, her heart felt open and spacious. With each step, Clara moved through her home with a newfound grace, allowing the warmth of her actions to spill into her day, grounding her in the here and now. Clara had learned that within the quietude of mundane tasks lay a world of possibilities, a journey of presence that extends beyond a single moment and into the much larger tapestry of life. Each breath she took now carried the echoes of stillness gathered between waves of daily activities, inviting her always to return to the simplicity of being wholly, unapologetically herself. In these ordinary moments, she discovered the extraordinary art of mindfulness, gentle reminder that peace can be found not in the destination, but in the act of arriving. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a quiet pond, late afternoon sun, casting a warm, golden hue upon the water surface. The gentle rustle of leaves above you whispers secrets of the day. Take a deep breath in, allowing the air to fill your lungs, and then slowly release it, letting each breath mark the rhythm of your being. Inhale peace, exhale tension. As you settle into this lovely moment, may you find a comfort in a space of stillness, where each sound and sensation invites you to dive deeper into your own experience. In a humble kitchen, a woman named Clara stood at the sink, surrounded by the comforting hum of everyday life. The light streamed through the window, casting playful reflections against the dishes piled high before her. Each plate and cup held remnants of a meal shared with loved ones, a tapestry of laughter just moments before, now dried and waiting for renewal. She turned on the tap, the warm water pouring forth with a soft, cradling sound, washing over her hands like a gentle embrace. The steam rose, intertwining with the sunlight, creating a shimmering veil around her. Clara noticed the way the water danced and glimmered, droplets cascading like tiny jewels with each dish she picked up. Clara found herself enveloped in the sensations surrounding her. The smooth ceramic of the plates, cool to the touch, the textured surfaces of glasses, rough around the edges where they had been lovingly used. As she placed the first plate in the water, she felt the warmth seep into her skin, grounding her, reminding her of the life that intertwined with these simple objects. She reached for the sponge. It surfaced dense and porous and began to glide it over the plate. The rhythmic motion took on a meditative quality, each stroke a gentle reminder of presence. The soap bubbles swirled and expanded, floating effortlessly, catching the light before they burst in a playful splatter. Clara marveled at their evanescence, recognizing the beauty in transient moments, much like her own thoughts, drifting in and out of focus as she rinsed the plate. The sound of water splashing was a joyful symphony, the notes echoing in the quiet space of her kitchen. The water formed rivulets that caressed her fingers, cool yet soothing. With every drop that fell back into the sink, she felt as if she was washing away the busyness of her mind, letting thoughts ebb and flow like the gentle currents of a stream, softly gliding away into stillness. Her mind initially wandered, flitting from one thought to another, to tasks that lay ahead, the weight of obligations, the gentle reminder to remain present. Yet, as Clara returned her focus to the dish in hand, she could feel an anchor in the present moment, a soft place to settle. The act of washing became less a chore and more a sanctuary, a practice of awareness cultivated diligently amidst the clamor of daily life. Occasionally, she paused, allowing herself to observe the flow of water and the transformations happening before her eyes. The once soiled plates emerged pristine under her caring touch, a metaphor for something deeper. With each cleanse, she felt herself letting go of hidden worries, unspoken fears, and unexamined anxieties. They dissipated like steam rising from the hot water released into the air. Lightening her spirit, the warmth of the sun on her back became a gentle companion, its rays bridging the gap between the outside world and her inner landscape. Clara felt a sense of belonging, anchored to the home she created, a haven forged through simple acts of love and care. She recognized how each dish mirrored an experience, a meal infused with connection, a moment of joy shared. As she continued to wash, she turned her attention to her breathing. The rhythm flowed with the water, a gentle in and out, creating a natural cadence that blended with the life happening around her. The distant chirping of birds floated in, a reminder of the vibrant world beyond her kitchen, weaving a sense of harmony with her inner stillness. Time stretched and curled, unhurried. As she finally placed the last dish on the drying rack, a composed collection of glowing ceramics glistening amidst the soft light. For a moment, she stood still, hands dripping gently, relishing the calm that enveloped her, heart full of gratitude for the ordinary yet profound experience she had just participated in the kitchen. With the lingering scent of soap and warmth, Clara took a breath, blinked slowly, and allowed herself to simply be. She felt the grace of the moment, the ordinary made extraordinary through her presence, her awareness. Each sensation reverberated in her. The warmth of the sun, the earthy scent of soapy water, the faint echo of life beyond these walls. As Clara wiped her hands on a towel, kitchen transformed into a sacred space, no longer merely a room filled with dishes, but now a canvas of memories, sensations, and attentive moments. She smiled softly at the simple beauty of what had been created there today, at the art of mindfulness inherent in washing dishes, and the profound peace found in surrendering to the present. In that stillness, she knew, was the essence of life itself, an unfurling where every breath, every dish, and every moment unfolded into something rich and quietly magnificent. In this moment, allow yourself to settle into the gentle unfolding of your breath. Inhale deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs, and exhale slowly, noticing the release. As you breathe, perhaps you can bring your attention to the sensations that arise, the subtle sounds that whisper around you in this very instant. It is here, in the embrace of the present, that we find ourselves ready to tune into the simplicity and richness of life. Let us journey together into an ordinary moment where mindfulness transforms the mundane into the extraordinary. As the sun dipped low, casting a warm golden hue through the kitchen window, Clara stood at the sink, preparing to wash the evening's collection of dishes. The day's busyness began to settle, like the gentle descent of a leaf gliding through the air, spiraling down to earth with grace. In this quiet sanctuary, she surrendered to the rhythm of water and the familiarity of porcelain. The faucet hissed softly as she turned the handle, the water flowing forth, clear and sweet, tapping against the sink's surface like the sound of a distant flute. Clara watched as the droplets danced in the light, splashing softly against one another, each drop a tiny universe reflecting the fading sunlight. A moment of pure presence enveloped her, and she inhaled the cool, crisp scent of the soap, a gentle reminder of the simple joy and tactile experience. As she lifted the first plate, smooth surface, cold against her fingertips, Clara felt the weight of the day's moments lingering on its surface. Each dish held a story: a hurried breakfast, a shared lunch, the laughter of friends gathered for dinner. In this quiet act of washing, she began to acknowledge them, allowing her thoughts to float gently by. Like clouds in the vast and clear sky, she immersed the plate in the warm, soapy water, listening to the soft swishing as suds began to froth and swirl. The gentle friction of sponge against ceramic created a delicate rhythm, the kind that spoke of care and attention. She let her movements flow, focusing on the sensation of the sponge gliding across the plate, each circular motion demanding nothing more than presence and intention. A soft hum escaped her lips as she worked, a spontaneous melody that arose from the depths of her heart. The sound danced in the air, mingling with the bubbling water and the quiet rustle of leaves outside the window. It was an orchestra of the everyday, an invitation to immerse herself deeper into the moment. The cool water splashed against her arms, sending ripples of sensation that awakened her senses. Was it the gentleness that surprised her, or perhaps the tenderness she extended to each dish? Clara felt a smile form as she became aware of the simplicity of it, all the joy in being present, descend, in acknowledging the beauty hidden within the routine. She reached for the next plate, carefully inspecting its edge, tracing the delicate rim with her fingers as though it might reveal secrets long forgotten. Here lay the remnants of a meal shared, an echo of laughter, whispers, and the warmth of connection. In this moment, each dish was sacred. It held fragments of life, and washing them transformed into a grace-filled ceremony. As the running water filled her ears, Clara began to notice the stillness of her own thoughts. They came like the bubbles in the sink. Some popped quickly, while others lingered, rising to the surface in their own time. She recognized them. Some were sweet plans for tomorrow, with the promise of a fresh start, while others were harder, the weight of worries drifting in and out like passing shadows. And as she rinsed each dish under the loving flow of water, she felt her worries washing away, one by one, dissolving like grains of salt, leaving no trace behind. There was no judgment, only an acceptance of what was an invitation to meet her fears, her hopes, and her heart in each moving moment. With every scrub, every rinse, she was reminded that just as the dishes required care, so too did her own spirit. The sink filled with frothy bubbles, glistening as they caught the waning light. Clara tilted her head back for a moment, gazing out the window. The golden hour spilled into her kitchen like soft silk, painting the walls in glowing hues. She noticed the way the world outside seemed to slow down. A bird perched on a branch, the gentle sway of leaves, the warm breeze carrying the scent of lavender from the garden, returning to her task. Clara felt a sense of unity, as if she were part of this symphony of life, so much beauty unfolding, even in the hum of ordinary moments. She continued to wash, now fully aware of her breath, a steady companion that wove its way through her actions. With each breath, she became the process, the water, the sponge, the warmth of the sun. Her heart intertwined with all that existed. Eventually, she reached for the last plata, simple, unassuming thing. Yet, somehow, it felt profound, in her hand a whole universe captured in a moment. She lent it her undivided attention, brushing away the remnants of the day with a sense of reverence, as if it were a precious treasure. As she placed the last clean dish upon the drying rack, Clara took a deep breath, filling her lungs with a smell of fresh soap mingling with the crisp air. In this small ritual, she realized that within the ebb and flow of life, there lay a profound truth, that every act, no matter how mundane, could become a meditation if only one was willing to meet it with an open heart. Here, in her kitchen, she felt a sense of awareness wrap around her like a warm quilt. The noise of the world faded away, just a little, and she could feel the pulse of gratitude rising within, a quiet celebration of existence, a recognition of the present. The dishes, now gleaming, reflected a promise that even in the smallest of moments, there lay the opportunity to reconnect with self, to touch the quiet, to breathe in stillness. As Clara stepped back from the sink, she paused for a heartbeat, embracing the simplicity of her being. She carried the awareness of her present moment into her heart, a gentle reminder that the ordinary can be extraordinary if we allow it. The dishes were clean, but more importantly, so was her spirit. And as she moved into the evening, she held within her the knowing that in every splash, every breath, there existed the stillness, a whisper of peace, a dance of presence, waiting to be discovered anew. Take a moment to settle into a comfortable position, perhaps closing your eyes gently or finding a soft focus on a spot in your room. Allow the breath to arrive, finding its own natural rhythm, an unbroken flow in and out. Feel the air fill your lungs, each inhale a gift, each exhale a release. Notice how the body responds to this simple act of breathing. Let the stillness wrap around you like a warm blanket. In this space, we will wander together into the heart of an everyday experience, inviting the mundane to reveal its quiet beauty. Imagine, if you will, a modest kitchen bathed in the soft, golden light of late afternoon sun. You hear the gentle hum of a single light bulb overhead, flickering slightly as if caught in a reverie of its own. The sink deep and inviting holds the remnants of a meal, a testament to nourishment shared. Water runs, filling the basin with a soft cascade, cute droplet, breaking the surface tension to create ripples that dance like tiny waves. There is a plate in front of you, ceramic and lovingly chipped at the edge. It carries the stories of meals past, okay? As you pick it up, you feel the cool smoothness against your fingers, a contrast to the warmth of the sun spilling through the window. The scent of soap, fresh and citrusy, fills the air, inviting you to begin your ritual. You place the plate under the running water. A splash echoes, a sudden shift in sound as the water meets the porcelain, warm and life-giving. You take a moment to observe the patterns in the water, the way it swirls and cascades, embracing the plate as you begin to scrub. The soft feel of the sponge glides against the surface, and with each stroke, you become aware of the circular motion, a gentle rhythm that feels almost like a dance. Bubbles form, tiny, translucent spheres that rise and fall. They shimmer in the light, catching glimmers as if each contains a universe of possibilities within it. As you continue, your mind drifts, thoughts swirling like the bubbles. You notice the mind's tendency to wander, to pull you into the past or future. But like a leaf floating on the breath of a breeze, you can simply let those thoughts drift by, observing their shape without judgment, without attachment. With every brush of the sponge, you can feel the tension in your shoulders untwist, and your breath deepens like the roots of a tree sinking into rich soil. Each dish becomes a meditation, the simple act of washing, transforming into a celebration of presence. The clinking of utensils against a plate resonates softly in the air, grounding you to this moment. This sanctuary of the everyday, you begin to notice the water as it flows, a life force that takes the remnants of the meal. A trace of joy and sustenance hand carries them away. With the release, you feel a sense of connection to the cycle of life. The cooking, the sharing, the cleaning, the resting, it all flows together, seamless threads woven into the fabric of love and care. And so, you reach for the cup next. Its form familiar and beloved. You cradle it in your hands, the warmth of its ceramic, a reminder of a morning ritual steeped in comfort. As you clean, you think about the tea shared in its embrace, the conversations that unfolded around the table. Each stroke of the sponge becomes a brush against the heart, a gentle acknowledgement of the moments that have passed. You allow your focus to sharpen, noticing the intricate patterns of the cup, the delicate curvature, the subtle imperfections that tell a story. The scent of the soap mingles with the memories of laughter, of quiet mornings, and of honest connection. You are swept into a reverie, not lost, but rather grounded in the lush tapestry of your experiences. As you wash and rinse, you feel the edges of worry and distraction begin to soften. Each moment unfolds like petals of a flower blossoming in the light, revealing the beauty hidden within the mundane. You become a part of this sacred process, the washing, the cleaning, the preparation for the next gathering, the next meal. Your heart opens, and in this simplicity, clarity arises. The water starts to clear, each rinse a letting go of what no longer serves. The dirty becomes clean, the remnants become memories, and in this cycle, you can surrender to the moment. Last plate glistens, droplets catching the light like the fleeting moments of joy that often escape us if we are not fully present to see them. As you turn off the tap, a soft sigh escapes your lips, a punctuation mark at the end of this ritual. You dry your hands on a soft cloth, the fibers absorbing not just water, but the essence of your experience, the awareness that quietly settled in your heart in this moment. You stand in the kitchen, the echoes of the day cradling you in their embrace. The light shifts, casting long shadows, and you surrender to the beauty of it all. The dishes are washed, Yet the act remains unfinished, reminder that the process itself carries richness, that being present to what we do can illuminate even the simplest tasks. Take a moment to reflect on the sensation of standing in that kitchen, the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the plate. In the way your breath has become deeper and more calm, you realize that mindfulness doesn't always require grand gestures or profound insights. Instead, it lies in the whispers of our daily experiences, inviting us to find beauty in the ordinary. As you return to your breath, carry this awareness with you. Let it permeate the fabric of your day, and know that in every act, every moment, there's an opportunity to awaken to the present where peace gently resides. As you settle into this moment, allow your body to soften and your breath to find its natural rhythm. Notice the air around you, gently filling your lungs, and release any tension as you exhale. With each breath in, invite a sense of presence, of awareness. With each breath out, let go, like the whispers of a breeze. Picture yourself in a sun-kissed kitchen, where simple joys await, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Here, in this serene space, we invite the unfolding of an everyday experience to guide us into a deeper understanding of being. It was a Tuesday morning, the kind of morning where the golden light filters through the kitchen window, casting soft shapes on the countertop. Sarah stood at the sink, the familiar contours of her routine enveloping her. The dishes awaited her, a small mountain of plates and glasses that glimmered with remnants of breakfast as she turned on the tap. The sound of water rushing forth filled the eerie, gentle symphony, a flowing stream that mirrored the thoughts dancing in her mind. She noticed the sensation of the cool porcelain against her fingertips, the way each piece carried not just the remnants of food, but the memories of laughter shared over meals. Conversations held close to the heart. She picked up a plate, its surface cool and slightly slick from the morning light. As she began to scrub, she became aware of the rhythm her hands created. The cloth glided over the surface, warm and yielding, swirling in patterns that spoke of intention and care. Each stroke became an invitation to return her focus to the present moment, allowing the thoughts of the past and future to fade gently into the background. The scent of the dish soap permeated the air, a soft fragrance that mingled with the faint aroma of coffee still lingering from breakfast. Sarah inhaled deeply, savoring the moments, both large and small, that filled her kitchen. She could hear the distant sound of birds chirping outside, their melodies interwoven with the gentle drumming of water cascading down the drain. It was a reminder that life thrummed on, full of sound and motion, even as she stood still in her sanctuary. With each dish, memories floated to the surface, ones of family gatherings, quiet breakfasts with her partner, or solitary moments when she found solace in the small task of washing away the remnants of yesterday. She found herself smiling at the recollections, each memory like a drop of water that fell from her hands, lighting up the space between intention and action. Notice, she murmured to herself softly, the transformative aspect of this act. As she let go of a spoon that had slipped from her grasp, it clattered against the others in the basin, echoing like a tiny bell that beckoned her attention. The sound resounded gently, a clear note ringing out in the quiet room, reminding her of the beauty inherent in every moment. As the water flowed, each dish seemed to reveal its own story, its own character. The chipped mug that had been her grandmother's, a brightly colored plate gifted to her on her wedding day, and the sturdy bowl that had seen countless late-night snacks. Each piece resonated with a history, not merely items to clean, but vessels of connection and warmth. Sarah slowed her movements, bringing her awareness deeper into the experience. Her breaths became more attuned to the flow of water, blending seamlessly with the warm air that surrounded her. Time stretched and relaxed. There was no rush, no obligation, aside from being right here. Right now, her thoughts began to drift, weaving between appreciation and funny recollections. She thought of how her children would often join her at the sink, eager to help, but more interested in creating soap bubbles than actually cleaning. Their laughter once filled the space, a veil of joy that lingered long after they retreated. Where have those little hands gone? She mused, reflecting on the swift passage of time. Yet, she shied away from melancholy, redirecting her awareness back to the task at hand. The quiet task of washing, of rinsing, became therapeutic in its simplicity. Each flick of her wrist, a liberation. Each drop that fell, a reminder that while life was sometimes messy, it was in the chaos that delight often hid. In this moment of clarity, Sarah felt gratitude bloomed within her, like spring flowers reaching for the sun. She could hear the wind rustling through the trees outside, a gentle whisper that seemed to echo her own internal stillness. It was a reminder that even amid the tasks, the mundane layers of life, stillness could be found. As she finished the last of the dishes, she lifted her hands from the warm water and felt a gentle warmth spreading over her skin, trickling down her wrists. She shook her hands dry, watching the water droplets dance in the light, a fleeting moment of beauty before they settled into the basin. The kitchen, once a space filled with clutter and remnants, now sparkled with clarity, illuminated by the soft morning sun. She surveyed her surroundings, taking in the neat rows of neatly stacked dishes, the serenity of the space, and her heart settled deeper with a sense of accomplishment in the quiet aftermath of the ritual. Sarah paused, allowing stillness to envelop her. A gentle smile graced her lips as she took a deep breath, aware of the quiet strength that arose from such seemingly ordinary tasks. She felt a whisper of understanding wash over her. The beauty of life was found in these small moments, where presence met purpose, and love was threaded through each mundane act. As Sarah stepped back from the sink, she held on to that warmth in her chest, a reminder that life's essence resides in the simple act of being. Here, in the quiet aftermath of her mourning, she realized that each day held the potential for connection, not only with others, but within herself. With a final deep breath, she let go of any lingering thoughts, returning to the flow of life, grounded in the beauty of this moment, where the dance of water and light taught her the art of presence. In the soft embrace of a quiet afternoon, when time feels both still and abundant, let us take a gentle breath together. Inhale deeply, allowing the air to fill your lungs, the coolness of it awakening sensations long forgotten. And as you exhale, notice the warmth of your body, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, a rhythmic dance of life unfolding. In this shared space, let go of a day's worries, like leaves drifting down a serene stream. Each thought a momentary ripple. As we settle into the now, a sanctuary of presence awaiting us in a modest kitchen where sunlight spills through the window, illuminating the dust motes that hang lazily in the air. A woman stands at the sink. The dishes, a small mountain of ceramic and glass, wait patiently for her. A gentle clinking as she gathers them, quiet symphony of plates and cups, creating a melody that invites her to pause. She rolls up her sleeves, feeling the cool chill of the porcelain against her skin, sharp contrast to the warmth enveloping her heart. As she runs warm water from the faucet, watching it swirl and cascade into the basin, she allows herself to be fully here. The steam rises, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. She takes a moment, feeling the warmth on her face, and closes her eyes just for a heartbeat. Tender stillness fills her as she listens to the water's song. The gurgling laughter as it fills the sink, almost as if the water itself is celebrating the simplicity of existence. With a soft sponge in hand, she begins the work, each stroke intentional, as if each dish were a heartfelt story waiting to be uncovered. The scrub of the sponge against the surface of a mug echoes memories, shared laughter over tea, late night chats, enveloped in warmth. Each dish tells a tale. She caresses the curves of the rim, her fingers tracing the paths where time has left its gentle marks. The scent of warm, soapy water rises, its sweetness intoxicating, anchoring her to this moment, lost in her reverie. Her mind occasionally flits away a to-do list, vying for attention, reminders of tomorrow, clamoring for space. Yet, with each breath, she gently guides her awareness back, like a mother coaxing her child to listen. The simple act of washing the dishes becomes a grounding ritual, a thread weaving her back into the fabric of the here and now. A plate slips from her hands, splashing water against her arm. She pauses, startled for a heartbeat, feeling the cold sensation on her skin. Instead of judgment, a smile breaks, the laughter bubbling from within as she wipes her arm dry. This moment, too, is woven into the tapestry of her experience, reminder that imperfection is part of the beauty of life. The rhythm continues. She dips her hands into the bubble-laden water, noticing how the light dances on the surface, creating tiny rainbows of fleeting display. The sound of water swirling, echoing softly in the stillness of the kitchen, becomes a mantra. With each dish that becomes clean, she feels a weight lift, not just from her hands, but from her heart. Each rinse, each wipe, an offering to herself, a tender act of care amidst the chaos of life. Outside, a bird sings, its song twisting through the open window. Threading its way into her consciousness, she drifts momentarily into that sound, surrendering to its simplicity, the effortless flow of nature emerging right alongside her own simple task. It's the chirping, vibrant and alive, marries the mundane with the magical, reminding her that connection is everywhere. As she cleans and rinses, she notices the bubbles forming on the sponge, so delicate, yet so full of life. She holds it gently, as one might hold a fragile dream. The froth kisses her fingers, and she watches intently as they cling to the sponge before surrendering back into the water, beautiful in their temporary existence. How, like thoughts, they are formed, fleeting, dissolving back into the vast sea of awareness, and then, with a delicate swish, the last cup leaves her hand, the final piece of her puzzle. Her gaze steadies, resting on the cleansed dishes lining the rack, glistening under the sunlight. Each one stands proud, reflecting not just light, but the heart holds within her. In this simplest of moments, she experiences a profound connection to the world around her, breath mingling with the air, water whispering its secrets, and her heart opening in gratitude with a soft sigh. She wipes her hands dry on a dishcloth, the fabric's texture grounding her further. In this act, she acknowledges the grace of presence, the grace of doing and being. What once felt like a chore has transformed into a sanctuary, a refuge of stillness where the mundane intertwines with the sacred, where dish soap becomes sacred oil and sink water a holy stream. She pauses one last time, a gentle smile gracing her lips. In this brief silence, she recognizes that this moment, so ordinary yet profound, mirrors the exquisite nature of life itself, constant ebb and flow, a myriad of experiences, each carrying their own essence. She stands tall, finding herself once more anchored in the beauty of the now, feeling gratitude swell within her as she steps away from the sink. Heart whispering its gratitude, she learns that every moment can be an invitation, an open door into the realm of mindfulness. In the stillness of her heart and the clarity of her mind, she carries this essence with her, a soft reminder that peace is always accessible, waiting patiently in the everyday rhythms of life. With every breath, she knows she will return again and again to the whispering stream of now. In this moment, as you settle into a place of stillness, take a deep breath. Allow the air to fill your lungs, and as you exhale, release any tension held in your body. Feel the weight of your feet resting on the ground, grounding you to this very moment. Let your awareness gently expand, tuning in to the cadence of your breath. The rhythm of your heartbeat, teach, pulse a reminder of the life flowing through you. Imagine yourself surrounded by a gentle light, a warm embrace of presence that invites you to fully arrive here and now. The story unfolds on a quiet afternoon, when the sun filtered through the kitchen window, casting soft shadows and golden pools of light upon the counter. There stood a sink full of dishes, humble gathering of plates, bowls, and utensils, remnants of a nourishing meal shared in laughter and connection. The soft murmur of the world outside, a distant melody of birdsong. The rustle of leaves beckoned for attention, yet here in the warmth of the kitchen, time felt suspended. It's inviting a deeper listening. As you step closer, the sink invites you into the moment. The water slumbers in the basin, cool and still, waiting for the warmth of your touch. With the turn of a faucet, the water begins to flow. The sound, a gentle cascade that dances against the porcelain and metal, each droplet a tiny note in the symphony of now. You pause, observing how the water gleams, the light catching its surface, transforming it into a shimmering ribbon of clarity. With deliberate intention, you place your hands beneath the stream, feeling the warmth envelop you, a soothing blanket, against the coolness of the sink. The sensation is immediate and grounding, pulling your attention fully into the present. As the water swirls around your fingers, you become aware of the way it glides over your skin, fluid and alive, as if each molecule is whispering soft secrets of tranquility. And in this simple act of washing dishes, there lies an invitation to be fully seen, fully felt. The first dish plate, with remnants of a sunny yellow curry, slides into your palm. As you begin to scrub, you notice the texture beneath your fingertips. The slight coolness of the ceramic contrasts with the warmth of the water, each stroke a tender caress. The sponge sinks into the curry's remnants, releasing the fragrance of spices infused with love. You breathe it in, the scent, a tender remembrance of shared tastes and stories. Each wipe, each rinse, allows you to let go of yesterday, to release the past with a flick of the wrist. As suds birth bubbles that float away like tender dreams as you rinse. The water cascades over the plate in a gentle waterfall, the sound harmonizing with the distant chirp of birds outside. With each pass under the running water, you become aware of the threads connecting you to this moment, the steady drip of water, the gentle clink of dishes against each other, the soft rhythm of your breath. You are not just washing dishes, you are washing away thoughts of what lies ahead. You are surrendering to the here and now in the midst of this ordinary task. Your mind may wander, thoughts drifting like clouds across the vast expanse of the sky. You notice the gentle tug of distraction, a reminder of a task unfinished, a conversation left hanging, a worry nudging at the edges of your peace. And instead of following those threads, you choose to breathe, anchoring yourself back to the water. Cue to the touch of the sponge against the dish, to the warmth enveloping your hands. The next dish arrives, a bowl, cubed, deep and round, cradling remnants of a sweet berry compote. As you delve into cleaning, you observe how the crimson stains cling stubbornly, a metaphor of distractions that cling to your busy mind. The sponge glides across the surface, encountering resistance. You meet the stains firmly but gently dares. No rush, no need to force them away. The soft agitation of the sponge loosens each mark, and gradually the bowl reveals its clarity beneath. The water swirls around, washing away not just the remnants of a meal, but perhaps the remnants of thoughts that no longer serve you. Each dish holds a memory, a story, laughter shared, conversations woven, moments cherished. And as you wash, care for them, you honor those experiences, knowing that they are part of the tapestry of your life. The sound of water continues to flow, and with it, the gentle rhythm of your heart sinks. You begin to feel an expansiveness within you, a spaciousness that welcomes each thought, each feeling with gentle curiosity. With a final rinse, you place the bowl on the drying rack, letting it stand there, dripping and glistening, a testament to your presence. There is grace in this practice of cleaning, a sensation of clearing not only the physical space around you, but creating a lightness within as well. Now, you encounter a pot, sturdy and strong, with memories of savory stews and shared family, meals layered within its walls. The grip of the sponge against the iron surface feels solid and reassuring, and as you scrub, your mind wanders back to a moment one filled with warmth, laughter, the company of loved ones gathered around. You can almost hear the echoes of voices, the melody of joy interspersed with laughter. The act of washing becomes a ritual of gratitude, an acknowledgement of the nourishment provided, both bodily and spiritually, in the ebb and flow of the water, the mingling of warm suds against cool metal. You are reminded of balance, how life unfolds in cycles of warmth and coolness, ease and difficulty. You allow this understanding to settle within you, savoring the way it feels to embrace both sides of experience without rejection. As the pot becomes clean, its sheen reflects the light of the kitchen, illuminating the space around you, and you pause in your movement. There's a moment of silence, a breath held in reverence for the simplicity of the task. You recognize here that in the act of washing, you are a witness to the present, that here in the cradle of your kitchen is where life is happening. You finish with the last dish, the simple act, fully complete, and stand for a moment, simply observing the sink filled with bubbles, the counter lined with gleaming plates that breathe freshness into the air. A sigh of satisfaction leaves your lips, a release of tension, a letting go of everything outside of this moment as you step back. The soft glow of the afternoon light continues to wrap around you like a warm shawl. There is beauty in this shared space, in the stillness that follows the clearing. You close your eyes briefly and breathe in deeply, filling your heart with the sweetness of an afternoon well spent, of simple acts infused with love as you gently bring your attention back to the world beyond the kitchen. The insights of presence linger softly within. You carry with you the warmth of water, the scent of curry and berries, and the awareness of how each moment, no matter how small, can become a portal to stillness. In this expansive stillness, you find that each task, each breath, is an invitation to embrace life as it unfolds, nourishing, cleansing, and whole. In this moment, as you settle into your space, take a gentle breath, drawing in the air around you. Hold it fill your lungs, cool and nourishing. Then exhale softly, releasing any tension, any busyness that clings to your being. Let your body find its natural rhythm, a peaceful ebb and flow. The world outside may still be rushing, but here, in this breath, in this moment, everything is quiet. Allow the weight of the day to melt away as you prepare to embark on a journey through the simple act of being present. Picture yourself in a cozy kitchen, the sunlight spilling through the window, casting warm, golden rays across the countertop. Dishes lie before you, a small mountain of porcelain and glass that glistens with promise. Each plate and cup holding stories of shared meals and laughter. You stand there, anchored in this space, the gentle hum of the world outside melding with the soft rhythm of your thoughts as you reach for the first dish, cool and smooth in your hands. A sense of connection blooms. This simple object, once filled with nourishment, now rests in stillness, awaiting your care. The water runs a soft murmur, filling the sink with its crystalline cascade. Each droplet dances in the light, creating a symphony that intertwines with your breath. You pause, allowing the sound to wash over you, grounding you in this present moment, placing the dish into the warm water. You feel the heat embrace your fingers, a comforting reminder of the life entwined in these objects. As you gather the soap, it bubbles playfully, releasing a fragrant swirl of lavender and citrus. Bring your focus back to the task at hand. With each gentle stroke of the sponge, you welcome in the warmth of creation, a rhythm that mimics the gentle waves of the ocean. The sponge glides across the dish, and with each pass, you begin to notice the textures, the soft curves, the delicate patterns etched into the surface. A sense of gratitude emerges. This dish has carried food, joy, and moments shared with loved ones. In this slow dedication, your heart opens, embracing the simple joy of caring for what nourishes you. Both physically and emotionally, you move through the task, each dish an opportunity to be present. It's a clinking of glass as you rinse a wine. Glass brings a smile, a memory of laughter shared over a candlelit table. As the water runs over your hands, you feel a delightful coolness, contrasting with the warmth of your thoughts. You breathe into this sensation, allowing it to anchor you further into the now. While cleaning, your mind may wander, flitting about like a leaf caught in a gentle breeze. A thought arises perhaps about something you need to do later, or a worry that nibbles at the edges of your peacefulness. Without judgment, you observe this thought, a fluttering butterfly in the garden of your mind. You do not chase it. You simply let it drift by, returning your focus to the touch of the sponge against the surface of the next plate. Each dish becomes a portal into this moment. It's a bowl, a cup, a fork, all echoing a life lived, a meal enjoyed. As you wash, you notice the endless cycle of life unfolding, the dishes dirtied, then cleansed, only to be dirtied again. How beautiful it is, this rhythm, its continuous act of giving and receiving. The water swirls around the basin, a gentle whirlpool that holds the remnants of a meal. As you rinse each item, watch their reflections shimmer, a fleeting glimpse of the world around you. The colors dance playfully, with the sunlight casting tiny rainbows on your skin. With each passing moment, allow yourself to be a part of this flow, an integral note in the symphony of existence. Pausing now, let the water run between your fingers. Each droplet, a reminder of impermanence. Each moment, a connection to everything that is. You close your eyes for a moment, and feel the warmth cascading down your arms, the water slipping away, leaving behind a trail of tranquility. In this stillness, there is a profound awareness of being alive, of inhabiting this moment fully, as if time has forgotten its urgency. As you finish washing the last dish, you pause to watch its gleaming surface. The luminous shine reflects the room, the kitchen that has witnessed countless meals, the walls that have absorbed conversations and laughter. This space, this present moment, feels sacred. You become aware of the pulse of life surrounding you, filled with gratitude for the smallness of your tasks and the bigness of your existence within them. Slowly drying the dishes. The soft fabric of the towel against your fingertips grounds you once more in the physicality of the experience. Each pat and rub whispers of care. It is an act of love towards the simple things that hold meaning. With each plate, each cup, you feel a sense of completion, a gentle nod to the effort of living mindfully as you place the last dish upon the drying rack. Take a moment to appreciate the serenity that has unfolded within you. Your heartbeat, the rhythm of the breath, the soft occasional sounds of the world outside, all are part of this rich tapestry of life. In the stillness that follows, remember that within the ordinary acts, there lies a profound sense of presence, a gentle invitation to return time and again to this moment. You are enough. Here, in the whisper of water and the embrace of now, everything else can wait. Rest in this truth and carry it with you as you step back into the world. As you settle into this moment, take a breath, a deep, gentle inhalation that fills your lungs, and a slow, mindful exhalation that releases the weight of the day. Allow yourself to feel the chair beneath you, the ground beneath your feet, and the air that wraps around you, a tender reminder of your presence in this world. Picture each breath as a wave, rising and falling. K, a soft reminder to let go of any thoughts that tug at you, like leaves caught in a gentle current. Here, in this space, there is nothing to do but be. Let your awareness float softly, like a feather on the breeze, inviting you into the unfolding story of an ordinary day, transformed into the extraordinary dot in a sun-dappled kitchen, where light trickles through the window like honey. A gentle rhythm begins to emerge. The morning begins its slow stretch, waking the world from its slumber. Outside, a chorus of birds announces the day, their melodies sliding through the open window and mingling with the soft sound of water running in the sink. You stand before the sink, surrounded by the warm scents of brewed coffee and the unmistakable traces of the last night's meal. The dishes sit in the basin, a small mountain of porcelain and glass, each one carrying its story within the remnants of last night's supper. As you dip your hands into the cool water, the sensations tingle along your fingertips, awakening you to this very moment. You pick up the first dish, its surface slick and smooth beneath your touch. There's a subtle weight to it, a reminder of the sustenance it held, and you breathe in deeply, inhaling the scent of soap and the faint residue of pasta sauce. As the soapy water envelops the dish, you watch the bubbles form and rise, each one a tiny world of its own, shimmering with reflections that dance in the sunlight filtering through the window. In the quiet stillness, you find a companion in this act of washing your breath, your thoughts, and the steady flow of water. With each deliberate movement, you scrub the plate with a gentle cloth, your hand gliding over its surface, breaking the remnants of yesterday. You notice the texture, the smoothness, and how it feels in response to your care. It becomes a meditation. Each circular stroke serves as a reminder of all the meals shared, laughter around the table, and conversations exchanged. You offer a small gratitude for these moments, allowing them to wash over you like the water that cleanses the plate. Time bends, and as you rinse the dish, the water cascades off in a silvery stream, a sparkling curtain that dances in the light, making your heart swell with a quiet joy. The sound of the running water is soothing, a soft symphony echoing in the stillness of the kitchen. As you gradually leave behind the clutter of thoughts and worries, the water carries away not just the remnants of food, but the heaviness of the mind. Each drop a release, a momentary letting go dot, as you continue this rhythmic cleansing. Your thoughts drift like clouds across a vast sky, soft and unstructured. Perhaps you think about the people who will sit at the table again, the stories yet to be told, or the simple beauty of sharing sustenance. Or perhaps you allow your mind to wander to the texture of the sponge in your hand, the little rhythm of your breath as it syncs with a task, the warm patch of sunlight on your shoulder, unhurried and nurturing. A moment arrives when you find yourself pausing, the plate in hand, water dripping softly. It feels like a breath held in anticipation. In that quiet pause, you open to the spaciousness within yourself, where thoughts of past and future dissolve. Here, you simply are no judgments, no expectations, just you, the soap, the sponge, the water, and the sun, illuminating this intimate dance of being. You reach for another dish, an intricate bowl adorned with flowers, worn yet beautiful, its surface marking the days past. You trace your fingertip along its edge and allow the memories to flood in the family gathering. A quiet evening alone, savoring soup, a gift from a dear friend. The warmth of connection wraps around you, infusing the mundane task with a sacredness that transcends the moment. In the act of scrubbing, you notice the echoes of gratitude within you, expanding, tender, and sweet. Each dish becomes a vessel of remembrance, a sanctuary of experiences that shape your life. Now, the sounds of the kitchen, the soft splashes, the gentle clink of dishes, the birds singing outdoors merge into a gentle lullaby that envelops you in its embrace as you move through the motions. Okay, a subtle clarity begins to emerge. You see how the rhythm of life is reflected in this simple act of care. How in every moment lies the potential for presence, for connection. Sometimes it is the minutia that allows us to peel back the layers of distraction, revealing the essence of ourselves in the process. The last dish awaits, a simple cup, waiting for your tender touch as you scrub. The day's intention settles gently upon your heart, a silent promise to stay rooted in the present moment, to find beauty in the ordinary, and to hold compassion for yourself as you navigate the storms around you. Even the most mundane of tasks can become a portal to grace, if only you allow yourself to fully engage with them. You lift a cup, feeling its warmth from the water, its presence solid and reassuring. With a final rinse, you watch the water stream off, glistening like liquid mercury. It slips away, as thoughts often do, but you remain grounded, enjoying the sensation of your heart steady, your mind quieting as the last soap bubbles burst, releasing your to-do list of worries back into the air. As you step back, you take a moment to absorb the scene before you. The dishes gleam in the soft light, and the mundane clutter has transformed into a testament of care and love. You allow yourself to breathe, experiencing a sense of accomplishment. Not in a pseudo sense, but in the way that you have shown up for this moment, fully and completely. You place your hands on the counter, feeling the coolness of the surface, savoring the sensations that ground you back to where you are. The simple act of washing dishes has morphed into a profound reminder of presence and connection, of life flowing in and around you. Now, as you take a final breath, slowly letting it all go, notice how you carry this stillness within you, a gentle anchor to the busyness of the world. Remember that the quiet beauty of the everyday, like the glistening dishes before you, holds endless potential for reflection and mindfulness. In each moment lies an invitation to begin again, a chance to immerse yourself fully in the dance of life, in the art of just being. Allow the rhythm of your heart to lead you, always returning to the simple wonder of presence. In the quiet cocoon of the present moment, where time rests gently in the cradle of your breath, allow yourself to settle into the space around you. Feel the earth beneath you, solid and nurturing as you find your rhythm. With each inhalation, allow the air to fill your lungs, nourishing the very essence of your being. And with each exhalation, release any tightness, any clutter of thoughts that may be swirling like leaves in the autumn breeze. Here, in this sacred stillness, we open our hearts to what is, inviting the world to unfold gently and rhythmically. It's like the ebb and flow of the tide. In a small, sunlit kitchen, the day began anew, draping itself like a soft blanket over the remnants of yesterday. The light filtered through the window, casting warm patterns on the countertop. Each ray, a gentle reminder of the beauty in simplicity. Here, amidst the clatter of the world outside, a woman stood before a sink filled with warm, soapy water. The gentle rise and fall of her breath echoing in the cozy silence. As she rolled up the sleeves of her shirt, she felt the cool water streaming over her hands, a tender invitation to begin. The sound of the water was like a soft lullaby, soothing and serene, each droplet a note in the symphony of her thoughts. She dipped her fingers into the warm embrace, feeling the suds swirl around them, inviting her into the present, one plate at a time. She lifted it from the sink, the smooth, glistening surface reflecting her face. As she scrubbed, she became aware of the sensations, the resistance of the grime, the slip of wet porcelain, the faint trace of lemon-scented soap filling the air. Each dish held the story of a meal shared, laughter exchanged, love expressed. She took a moment to appreciate this, a quiet gratitude blossoming within her for the nourishment these dishes had held, for the hands that had prepared the meals, and for the moments of connection they represented. With every stroke of the sponge, she noticed the small bubbles rising, floating like dreams before them. The sounds of the neighborhood drifted through the window, a child's laughter, the distant hum of a lawnmower, the crisp rustle of leaves overhead. Sound, a reminder of life unfolding in all its textures. Her mind, like the bubbles, began to drift, wandering to unaddressed tasks and fleeting worries, but she gently nudged it back to the sensations dancing at her fingertips, the warmth of the water and the queerness of noticing. Notice, don't judge, she reminded herself, softly as she rinsed the plate, the water cascading in a delicate waterfall, transforming the dish from dull to shining. There was a simplicity in this, a quiet art or rhythm of washing and rinsing, an embrace of the present moment that seemed to whisper, "You belong here, now." Sponge glided effortlessly across the surface, bubbles bursting into the air, releasing tiny splashes that mingled with the warmth of the sink. She could feel a sense of fluidity in her actions, as if her body and the water were dancing in harmony, each movement slow and deliberate, anchored in this unhurried now. Thoughts came and went like clouds, drifting in a vast blue sky, the groceries to buy, the call to return, the errands left unfinished. Yet each thought slipped away, ungrasped, as she returned to the gentle consistency of her task. Time seemed suspended. She breathed in the warm, fragrant air, filled with hints of soap, and something earthy and real. This was the gift of the presenter. Pause, and all that rushed in whirled simple vegetables transformed into a colorful plate. Laughter shared over meals that lingered long into the evening. And now she was in the act of bringing that warm connection back to life in the quiet ritual of washing. As she moved through her work, she let the rhythm guide her. She carefully stacked the clean dishes on the rack, each one finding its place as if the clink of ceramic and glass were a musical score, delicate notes hinting at laughter echoing through the home. The plates, once soiled, now radiated a quiet shine. The kitchen transformed into a sanctuary of order, reflecting her inner peace with every touch. Suddenly, she paused to feel the heat of the sun pouring through the window. The vibrancy of the light stretching across the room seemed to illuminate not just her kitchen, but her very heart. Hush! It felt as if the universe was affirming her presence, reminding her that in this moment there was nowhere else to be. Every breath became a thread, weaving her into the fabric of this day, this life. If discomfort arose, a fleeting sense of impatience or a whisper of anxiety, she acknowledged it without clinging, letting the feeling drift like the bubbles that danced on the surface. Just as the sun breaks through the clouds, so too could this moment transform the anxieties of life into simple joy. I am here, she thought, and that is enough. She finished the last dish. She took a step back and surveyed her work. The kitchen exuded a sense of calm, sanctuary ready for the next gathering of loved ones, the next meal crafted with care. The warm glow around her felt almost like the embrace of a friend, inviting her into gratitude. This was not merely the act of washing dishes. This was an act of love, an honoring of the daily rhythm that embraced her life in this moment of quiet accomplishment. She noticed how the mundane could turn itself into magic, the dance of hands in water, the warmth of the sun like a gentle caress. The realization settled softly in her heart. Mindfulness is not found in grand gestures, but in the gentle folding of each day into a quilt of experiences, stitched together by moments like this. As she dried her hands on a soft cloth, the fibers warmed against her skin. She carried with her the gentle reminder that the beauty of life blooms in these small wonders. The capacity to pause, breathe, and be present even in the simplest of tasks was a gift she could carry forth, a stillness imbued within her being. And so, with the last plate drying in its place and the sun dipping softly toward the horizon. She felt a quiet resolve within. Life would continue, its ebb and flow. Tasks would come and go, yet within her lay a sanctuary of presence. She emerged from the kitchen, the whisper of water still echoing in her heart, a reminder that by simply being, by immersing ourselves in the simplicity of now, we can find peace amidst the bustling chorus of life. In this moment, let us pause, breathe, and arrive. Feel the air as it softly enters your lungs, cool and refreshing, and then, just as gently, flows out into the world. Let the weight of the day sink softly into the ground beneath you, like a feather floating down to rest. There is nowhere to be but here, nowhere to go but inward. Embrace the space around you, the gentle symphony of everyday life, an orchestra of sounds that weaves the tapestry of now. As the story unfolds, allow yourself to drift into the gentle waves of presence, observing each moment with a quiet heart and an open mind. In a small kitchen, where sunlight spilled through the window like molten gold, a woman named Ilara stood at the sink. The small room, though humble, was filled with the lingering aroma of rosemary and garlic, remnants of last night's dinner. Today, the rhythm of her life would slow, a brief interlude between the obligations that called her name. Ilara filled the basin with warm water, watching as the steam curled and danced before her like an ethereal wisp. She reached for the first dish, a faded blue plate, its edges chipped and worn. She felt its smooth surface against her fingers, the weight of it comforting in her palm. As she immersed it in the warm water, the sound of water splashing was both a song and a sigh. Each drop was a reminder of the playful play of life, and she allowed herself to be lulled into this simple act of care. With a sponge in hand, she began to gently scrub the plate, the rhythmic motion offering a sense of connection, not just to the plate, but to the process of cleaning, of nurturing. The soft, circular strokes became a meditation, each sweep a way of expressing gratitude for the meals shared, the laughter that had echoed through these walls. The scent of soap mingled with the remnants of her dinner, filling the air with a light, fresh aroma that invited her to breathe a little deeper as she worked. Her thoughts began to drift like clouds across a summer sky. A list of tasks fluttered through her mind-work emails, grocery lists, the laundry that awaited her. With each thought, she gently acknowledged its presence without judgment, letting it float away like a leaf on the water. In this moment, she chose to be fully present, to honor the simple act of washing the dishes as sacred. The sound of the water flowing, the rhythm of the sponge against the plate became her mantra. She melted into the experience, feeling the warmth of the water wrap around her hands, almost as if it were a soft embrace. She noticed how each rise and fall of her breath matched the motion and inhale accompanying the upward stroke, a slow exhale with the downward motion. As she continued, she recognized a subtle shift within her, a flicker of calm igniting in the back of her mind. Next, she reached for a fork, its cool metal catching the light. She held it up, examining the tiny bits of the past clinging to its prongs, remnants of shared meals and moments. With each stroke of soap and water, it transformed from a harbinger of chaos to a symbol of renewal. She allowed a smile to bloom on her lips, reveling in the playfulness of transforming even the smallest task into an act of love and care. Ilara took a moment to stand still, eyes closed, and felt the cool breeze wafting through the open window, brushing against her cheeks like a whisper. Outside, the world continued its dance. She could hear a child's laughter mingling with the chirping of birds and the distant rumble of voices. Each sound invited her to be fully here, a gentle reminder that life was unfolding around her, even as she engaged in this quiet moment. Returning to her task, key She picked up a stubborn pot, its surface clouded with the evidence of culinary experiments. She felt gratitude wash over her, not just for the pot, but for the creativity that had led her to create these meals. The shared moments made richer through the flavors she had crafted. As she scrubbed away the remnants, she imagined their heat, the colors pooling on their plates, the smiles that had graced their tabula dance of nourishments shared with each dish. She observed her own thoughts, concern for the mess, the ticking clock reminding her of responsibilities, and yet she gently redirected her focus, returning to the warmth of the water and the simple beauty of her task. Every bubble that rose and burst mirrored the thoughts that emerged and faded away. Just bubbles, nothing to hold on to, nothing to worry about. The last dish was finished, and Alara began to rinse them under the cool stream of the faucet. She could feel the residual warmth of the water against her skin, a soft reminder of the work completed. As she set the clean dishes aside, she noticed the gentle glisten of them drying in the sunlight, each one standing as a testament to this moment of serenity. Standing at the sink, looking around her kitchen, she felt a wave of tranquility wash over her, filling the spaces around her with warmth. Her heart echoed with a soft understanding. In each task lies a chance for mindfulness, a practice of honoring the everyday. She had set aside the chaos, if only for this moment, finding clarity in the act of being present. As Alara put away the last dish, she took a deep breath, aware of the silence wrapping around her like a gentle shroud. This was her life, not merely a series of tasks to get through, but a beautiful mosaic of moments each, one just as sacred as the last. The stillness between the waves of her day became a source of peace, where everything slowed to reveal the hidden treasures of being fully alive. In this space, she felt grounded, content, ready to engage with the world once more, knowing that the rhythm of presence was always just a breath away. In the gentle embrace of this moment, let us find stillness together. Close your eyes if you like, and take a deep breath, Inhale slowly, feeling the coolness of the air fill your lungs. And then exhale softly, releasing any tension that you may have unknowingly gathered. Allow yourself to arrive fully right here, right now, as the world outside fades into a distant hum. Imagine the sensations of your body grounding you to this very spot, your feet resting on the earth, your heart beating steadily within you. Let each beat remind you of your connection to this very moment, where every breath becomes a leaf floating on a river, gently carried along, never rushing, never grasping. Just be, and let us begin our story in the heart of a quiet kitchen. Sunlight streams through the window, casting warm patterns on the floor, like an artist playing with golden paint. In the sink, a small pile of dishes rests, waiting patiently, each plate and cup whispering tales of meals shared, laughter echoing around the table. The air is tinged with scents of rosemary and garlic, remnants of a love-infused dinner that had taken place just hours ago, nourishing not only bodies, but spirits as well. As you step closer to the sink, you feel the coolness of the ceramic tile beneath your feet, grounding you further into this space. You roll up your sleeves, feeling the soft cotton against your skin, a gentle invitation to engage with the task at hand. Water begins to flow, a gentle, rhythmic cascade that sings as it meets the metal basin. The sound resonating in harmony with your heartbeat. With each dish you lift, you become aware of its unique texture, the smoothness of the plates, the rough edges of the cast iron skillet, the delicate glass of the wine glasses. You immerse them in the warm, soapy water, the bubbles rising like tiny stars, glistening in the light. Here you are, connected to the mundane yet extraordinary act of washing dishes. Each movement a dance in the symphony of life. As you scrub the first plate, the sponge glides across its surface with a soft, smoothing motion back and forth, as if you were tracing the contours of a beloved memory. You become aware of the sounds around you, the soft gurgle of water draining, the distant chirping of birds outside, a reminder that the world continues to turn. Even as you remain in this intimate moment, thoughts may come drifting in like clouds, bringing with them remnants of the day, the tasks left undone, conversations you had, the worries that sometimes speak too loudly. Acknowledge them, but allow them to drift by, not clinging or pushing away. Instead, focus on the sensation of the sponge working against the plate, soothing rhythm bringing you back to the present as you rinse each dish under the flow of fresh water. Notice the way it cascades elegantly around the curves, the droplets spilling like tiny jewels that shimmer before falling into the basin below. Feel the warmth of the water and the coolness as it runs over your fingers, energizing you, waking you to the sensation of being alive. Let this feeling wash over you, an embodiment of life. It's present and immediate. Placing the clean dishes on the drying rack, you take a moment to simply observe. The light highlights every curve, every shadow, and every shifting gallery of everyday beauty. Each dish has a story, a cherished moment embedded in the fabric of your life. There is a profound gratitude blooming within you, a recognition of the simple joys. You're reminded of the power in each tiny act, a connectedness threading through the fabric of daily existence. You feel your breath settle, hailing the warm, soapy scent mixed with the soft aroma of the rosemary that still clings to your fingers. With each exhale, release the weight of being elsewhere. Here, in this gentle sanctuary of the kitchen, it is enough just to be present. The world outside may revolve in chaos, but here you find peace. As the last dish dries, you look around. The kitchen, each corner illuminated by the golden light of the setting sun. Everything feels alive, the wooden cutting board imbued with stories of meals past, the potted herbs leaning slightly toward the window, reaching for the light. Just as you reach for calm within, the kitchen is a vessel of memories, and you reside within it, a caretaker of both space and story. With a final glance at the shining dishes, you take a moment to reflect, seeking the stillness that exists even amidst the gentle clatter of daily life. The world is vast and complex, yet in this moment, you find clarity, a perfect fractal where simplicity and depth reside. The small responsibility of washing dishes becomes a reminder of the inherent beauty of being present, of seesawing between the rhythm of tasks and the stillness of awareness. As you step away from the sink, letting the water trickle away, you carry with you the essence of stillness, a subtle glow that resides in your heart. With each action you take, may you remember the soothing presence of mindfulness, an echo of peace you can return to again whenever life calls for your attention. Returning to this moment, let the warmth of your experience settle within you like soft rays of sunlight at day's end. Know that within the fabric of daily life lies a sanctuary of stillness and clarity, waiting patiently to be embraced. As you gently open your eyes, carry this feeling of peace with you, grounded in the present, open to whatever unfolds next. Just as each dish reflects the light in the room, so too does your presence reflect the beauty of this momentary journey. And in this reflection, may you always find your way back home. As you settle into this moment, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing your lungs to expand fully. And exhale gently through your mouth, letting the day's worries drift away like clouds across an endless sky. Feel the sensation of the air as it enters and leaves your body, as if you are participating in a gentle dance. Let your shoulders soften, your neck release its tension, and your heart open to the simple beauty that exists in this fleeting moment. Here, in this space of stillness, we can embrace the ordinary as extraordinary and find tranquility in the rhythm of life. In a small, sunlit kitchen, The day began, not with a rush, but with a quiet unfolding. The golden light filtered softly through the window, casting playful shadows on the countertop. A sink full of dishes awaited, each one a tiny world unto itself. Small plates with remnants of breakfast, cups that held remnants of warm tea, and silverware that reflected the shimmering dawn. As she approached the sink, she felt the coolness of the ceramic tiles beneath her feet, grounding her as she stood poised at the threshold of this daily ritual. With each step, she invited herself into the heart of the moment, beginning to appreciate the simple task ahead. Her hands, warm and calloused from years of creating meals and memories, hovered over the soapy water, the fragrance of fresh dish soap gently wafting upward, mingling with the scent of the morning. She turned on the tap, listening as the water danced into the basin, the sound of it cascading like a gentle waterfall, soothing in its rhythm. There was a small thrill in watching the water swirl and bubble, as if each droplet were an opportunity for mindfulness, an invitation to be completely present. With a mindful breath, she dipped her hands into the warmth, feeling the satin smoothness of the bubbles as they formed. Each bubble held light, refracting into tiny rainbows that played across the walls, and, for a moment, she became one with their joy. As she began to wash, she took her time, embracing the sensations, the slickness of the plates, the gentle resistance of the utensils, and the satisfying weight of the cups. Her mind wandered like a leaf on a stream, drifting to memories of laughter around the table, of conversations that flowed as freely as the river outside her window. With each item she handled, she whispered a small thanks of gratitude for the nourishment they provided, the hands that made meals, the moments they celebrated together. Her thoughts began to settle. Thoughts of yesterday mingling with fleeting worries about tomorrow. Yet, as the water enveloped her hands, she felt the quiet pull back into the now, into the rhythm of scrubbing and rinsing. The sponge glided across the surface of a plate, and in that motion, she observed the gentle tension between dirt and cleanliness, chaos and order. She surrendered to the simplicity of it all, letting the water wash away not just the grime, but the burdens that seemed so heavy just moments before. Shifting her focus with each new plate, she noticed the glisten as the water cascaded off, revealing the understated elegance of ceramic and glass. It was a reminder that even in the act of cleaning, there is beauty of clarity that emerges from the mundane. She breathed in the steamy air and let her mind rest, absorbing the warmth around her, feeling it seep into her skin. A soft caress from the day. The room remained quiet, save for the rhythmic sound of water and the occasional chirp from the birds outside, welcoming the dawn. Time began to dissolve into the simplicity of the act itself, that creative dance between water, soap, and the everyday things that inhabited her kitchen. As she turned to the next item, a silver spoon, smudged from its recent use, she placed it in her palm, pondering its history in familial gatherings and quiet mornings alone. It was a small object, but it held stories, a legacy in its shine. She rubbed her thumb along its cool surface, and in that moment, the universe seemed to expand and contract to encompass just her, the spoon, and the soft echo of the world around her. Here I am, she whispered gently to herself, in this moment, right now. And with that acknowledgement, she let go of needing to rush. The spoons would sit in the drain until they dried. The plates would wait until the next meal. Hay was here, embodying presence and purpose. Each item became an invitation to be aware, to breathe into the now as the last dish emerged from the sink. She paused, looking at the soap suds, glistening in the waning sunlight. They reflected a myriad of shimmering colors, like fairy lights in a darkened room, tiny wonders to behold. With the final rinse, she set this plate on the drying rack. Brow furrowed in focus, her heart stirred with contentment. Looking around the kitchen, she felt a swell of appreciation for the space she had filled with life and love, a sanctuary that bore witness to growth, to practice, to learning in the everyday. She breathed deeply once more, allowing her heart to cradle the stillness of this moment and honor it with a quiet reverence. With newfound clarity, she wiped her hands dry, casting her gaze upon the now empty sink. There was no clutter, just a promise of what was to come, each day beginning anew with its own unique gifts. What joy it was to participate in this cycle, to revel in the unremarkable yet profound task of living fully, tenderly tethered to each moment in this still space. She slowly turned toward the window and truly noticed the world outside. For the first time that morning, trees swayed gently in the breeze and petals danced from their branches. The sun warmed her face, pouring light into her soul, and she smiled softly, nurtured by the sight. Every breath taken, every second spent, a reminder that life flowed on. And she was a part of this great, unfolding tapestry and ever-changing masterpiece that was both fragile and resilient. As you take a moment to reflect upon this simple story of washing dishes, may you too find beauty in the ordinary, a gentle reminder of the sanctity that lies in presence. Life is a series of moments woven together, sometimes messy, often magnificent. In recognizing the poetry of each breath, each thought, and each action, we can cultivate a space of peace within, a quiet sanctuary that endures through the ebb and flow of our days. Remember, always, to find joy in the act of simply being, and let the dance of water and light guide you home to yourself. As the first rays of dawn spill softly across your space, take a moment to pause. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath, the way it invites you further into this moment. Allow the stillness to wrap around you like a warm blanket. It's tranquility. There is a sacredness that beckons. The world outside stirs slowly, but here, you are invited to witness the beauty of simplicity. Here, you can learn to listen to the whispers of your heart, to the subtle unfolding of time, and to the quiet dance of life that takes place in each breath. Let your thoughts settle like leaves upon a still pond, and open yourself to the flow of an ordinary morning dot in a cozy kitchen. Warmed by the embrace of early sunlight, a kettle hums quietly as water heats for tea. Each soft note resonates through the air, reminding you of the simple pleasures that lie in your daily routines. The aroma of jasmine begins to unfurl, wafting gently like a sigh through the small space, inviting you to savor the moment. You find your way to the sink, its porcelain surface like a canvas awaiting the strokes of your hands. Here you are greeted by a pile of dishes, remnants of yesterday's laughter, meals shared, and stories told, evidence of life well lived. As you fill the sink with warm water, watch the bubbles form and float to the surface, delicate and fleeting, just like thoughts that arise in the quiet of your mind. The water is inviting, gentle warmth embracing your skin as you slide your hands into the ebb and flow of the suds. Each dish tells its own story. The sturdy plate from last night's dinner, the chipped mug cradled in your hands since your grandmother gifted it to you, the fork that has danced through countless meals. You take a breath, feeling the texture of the dishes beneath your fingertips. Each vessel a connection to moments cherished. The first plate slips from your hands and splashes into the water, sending ripples dancing outward. You notice the sound, the soft plop-coing in the stillness. It draws your attention, inviting you deeper into this ritual. As you wash, the resistance of the food residue meets the warmth of the water, and you begin to feel the dance of tension and release. Rinse, scrub, rinse. Each motion becomes a rhythm, a mantra. The spongy texture of the scrubber glides over the surface of the dishes, and with it, thoughts begin to emerge. You might think of the plans you've made, the uncertainties that flutter at the edges of your consciousness. Instead of pushing them away, you observe them feel their presence like the bubbles that surface and pop, each one leaving a trace behind. You breathe into them as you move from one plate to the next. You notice your body, the way your muscles engage and relax, the subtle sway of your hips as you shift your weight. Feel the groundedness of your feet pressing into the cool floor, rooted in this moment. The world outside might rush by, but here in your kitchen, time stretches, expands, and somehow pauses. The kettle begins to whistle, its song piercing softly through your reverie. You turn, a tender warmth spreading through your heart as you switch off the burner. The moment is perfectly punctuated, an invitation to savor the chaos within the stillness. You poured the steaming tea into your favorite mug, the chipped one, with its stories and characters, its history etched in every imperfection. Heat radiates from the porcelain close to your palms, a transfer of warmth connecting you to the present. You bring the cup to your lips and inhale deeply, a fragrant steam mingling with the jasmine sweetness, the comforting scent wrapping around you lightly, reminiscent of cooked rice, of home, of childlike joy. As the tea touches your lips, the warmth envelops you, and you feel a gentle suffusion of gratitude rise within. You bring the cup back to the sink, and with the plates now resting on a drying rack, you intend to place it down, but in that moment, you pause. Instead of completing the act, you linger for a heartbeat longer, eyes fixed on the quiet glow of sunshine inching through the window, illuminating the dust that dances in the air. Each speck a story, a fragment of the past, each one glistening like the potential of a new day. A moment stretches out, held between longing and contentment. Your heart echoes with the hum of the moment, and you breathe it in, embracing the vibrancy of life. Reflection weaves through your mind, a warmth nudging you toward understanding. Perhaps this is enough, you ponder. Here in this small space, within this ordinary task, lies the essence of everything, the tenderness of being. The moment invites you to notice the simple joys of chirping bird heralding the dawn, the soft rustle of leaves whispering secrets to the breeze, the way light shifts across the walls as the sun rises higher. You sense the texture of your breath, deep, full, alive. To realize that every time you immerse yourself in the mundane, you discover the sacred threads of your presence. And so, reflecting on the quiet labor of washing dishes, your heart swells with an understanding that this practice of slowing down, of being present, is akin to mastering the art of life. The rhythm of the water, the warmth of tea, the narratives of each dish, these are the gentle reminders of what it means to be human, to be vulnerable, to love. The scent of jasmine lingers, and you know you can carry this with you, the peace, born from a single cup of tea in a sink filled with warm water, as you stand amidst the stillness of your kitchen. Allow yourself to sit with this moment just a little longer. In the spaces between thoughts, in the flow of life, peace awaits. Each breath is a gentle reminder of your place in this unfolding tapestry. You are part of the dance of the world, and as you carry this awareness into your day, remember, there's beauty in the ordinary when you choose to embrace it fully. Grounded and serene, you step forward, ready to meet life with an open heart. In the quiet stillness of a late afternoon, the sun's golden light spills softly through the curtains. Take a moment to pause. Breathe in deeply, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, and let it out slowly, allowing any tensions to drift away with each exhale. Imagine the day's hurried moments slowly sinking into the background, like leaves floating gently down a tranquil stream. Allow yourself to settle into the present, each heartbeat, each breath anchoring you in this very moment. Here, within the embrace of stillness, we invite ourselves to accompany a simple task, one that whispers profound truths if we choose to listen. The kitchen was aglow with the warm light of late afternoon, casting gentle shadows on the tiled floor. Emily stood before a sink filled with the remnants of a simple lunch, the dishes piled high like an unspoken to-do list. And yet, as she gazed at the glistening plates and colorful bowls, a soft smile emerged, tinged with gratitude for the meal. Shared dot with the water running, she watched as the clear stream danced and sparkled, reflecting tiny rainbows as it cascaded into the basin. The sound of water was both soothing and rhythmic, a gentle reminder of nature's constants that continued on, unaffected by the rush of the day. Each droplet was a note in the symphony of the presenta, cadence of simplicity that invited her to step fully into this moment. She rolled up her sleeves and placed her hands into the warm water, feeling its enveloping embrace. It wrapped around her limbs like a loving hug, coaxing her to acknowledge the sensations of the here and now. The temperature was just right, warmed by the sun that had poured its light into the space. It's a reminder of all the warmth and joy life can encompass. As she took the first plate, she noticed the texture beneath her fingers' smooth surface, memory-laden from laughter and conversations shared over meals past. With each swipe of the sponge, there was an opportunity to clear away not just the remnants of food, but the remnants of the day. Each scrub became a gentle release of thoughts, of worries for tomorrow. She rinsed the plate, observing the water pooling, then cascading away, a tiny whirlpool, ebbing and flowing in the sink. For a moment, she lost herself in the sight of it, the way the water spiraled and faded, taking with it the remnants of her rushing mind. They cycle away, leaving behind clarity. Then came the sound, the quiet splash of the water as she dropped the plate into the rack, the gentle clink of the ceramic, the soft murmurs of the sponge gliding across the surface, all blended into a tapestry of sound that filled the silence. Each note intermingled with the quiet hum of her thoughts, a delicate interplay of sound and sensation in which Emily found an unrushed presence. She continued this sacred ritual of washing a dance of hands in water. Each item became a new opportunity for connection. A vibrant red bowl, gifted by her mother, reminded her of the family gatherings that had once filled the house with warmth and laughter. The worn, chipped mug she cradled in her hands bore witness to countless mornings of solitude, sips of coffee fueling her dreams. As she washed, she began to notice her mind wandering, a usual occurrence that she gently countered with an anchor of awareness. The swirl of thoughts, plans, regrets, to-do lists dissipated as she brought her focus back to the warmth of the water gliding over her skin. The aroma of the soap, subtly floral and calming. She reminded herself that it was okay for thoughts to drift in and out like clouds passing in the sky, observed without judgment, allowed to be dot with each rinsed dish. There was a sense of release. The simple act of caring for these objects became a metaphor for her own life. The way the dishes shifted through grime, gradually restoring their shine, echoed the way we sometimes find ourselves cloaked in distractions, anxieties, and the residue of the day. As she took a deep breath, imagining the air filling her chest and then flowing out, she embraced the notion that moments of clarity could arise from the mundane if only she chose to linger in them. Emily turned towards the window as she washed. The last item, a small knife, its blade reflecting back the light of the setting sun. The world outside unfolded before her. The golden leaves on trees dancing in the soft breeze, the laughter of children playing in the distance. A profound stillness enveloped her as she felt a deep connection to the world beyond her kachina, reminder of life's rhythm, continuous and steadfast. She paused and allowed herself to simply be, to watch, to breathe, to listen. The awareness of the moment wrapped around her like a soft blanket, warm and protective. Here she was, in the thick of her everyday life, immersed in the miracle of being present. The water continued to flow, gurgling as it moved toward the drain, leaving the sink an oasis of cleanliness and calm. And as she took that final breath, she realized that this moment of routine had transformed into something sacred. The act of washing dishes had unfolded into a meditation on presence. interconnectedness, and the beauty of embracing the ordinary. As Emily dried her hands on a soft, well-worn towel, she understood that even the simplest of acts can lead to deeper insights, a reflection of life's ebb and flow. It's a reminder to savor each moment as it comes. The dishes now clean, the kitchen filled with the embrace of evening light. She felt grounded and at peace, a fleeting connection that would carry her gently through the rest of her day. Each ordinary moment holds the potential for mindfulness, waiting patiently for us to notice and appreciate its quiet beauty, just as water bids us to pay attention to its gentle ripple. In the quiet of your day, take a moment to settle into your breath. Feel the air gently fill your lungs, holding you in a soft embrace, and then releasing it slowly, like the ebbing tide. As you breathe in and out, allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment, letting go of the thoughts that whirl in and out of your mind. With each inhale, invite a sense of stillness, and with each exhale, release any tension, like clouds drifting away. Here, in this space of presence, a story unfolds, a meditation on the simplicity of a familiar task, a reminder of the beauty that lives in the mundane. Once upon an ordinary afternoon, in a home that hummed with the soft echoes of life, the sun cast its warm golden light through the kitchen window. The light danced across the countertops, illuminating the remnants of a shared meal, a simple feast that had nourished both body and soul. Plates rested on the sink's edge, an array of colors and textures, each one a story waiting to be told. As you step closer to the sink, the world outside fades. The soft chirping of birds drifts through the open window, creating a symphony of nature, the afternoon's balm. You feel the coolness of the porcelain against your fingertips, a gentle reminder of the present. The water begins to flow, a soft gurgle bubbling up, filling the basin with clarity and purpose. You take a moment to observe the water as it fills the sink. The way the light refracts, creating tiny rainbows that dance across the surface, is captivating. Feel the warmth of the water as it cascades over your hands, a sensation that soothes and comforts. Let your breath deepen, matching the rhythm of the water, slow, fluid, alive. In this moment, the world outside seems to pause. The chatter of thoughts quiets, and you are drawn into the delicate task at hand. Perhaps it is just washing dishes. Yet, there is an invitation here, calling to be fully present, to embrace this act as a sacred ritual. Each plate, each utensil, carefully placed in the warm embrace of the water, carries with it the echo of connection, the remnants of laughter, conversation, and love. As you begin to scrub the first plate, feel the texture beneath your fingers, the smooth surface contrasting with the rough sponge. The soap suds rise like tiny clouds, tiny worlds, swirling beneath your touch. As you move the sponge in gentle circles, notice how the plate transforms a simple vessel, becoming a canvas where you create clarity, where you wipe away the imprints of the past meal, honoring the moments shared with each scrub. With every pass of the sponge, there arises an awareness. You might notice thoughts fluttering by, memories of the day's tasks, upcoming commitments, perhaps a flicker of worry. And just as you notice these thoughts, allow them to drift away like leaves on a stream, without judgment or attachment. Instead, focus on the sensations, the warmth enveloping your hands, the subtle sound of running water, the soft glow of light filtering in from outside. This is where you dwell now, in the dance of presence. Time flows fluidly as you lose yourself in the rhythm. Wash, rinse, set aside. Each movement becomes a meditation, each plate a friend returning home after a long journey. There is a stillness in this labor, a quietude that envelops the space, inviting you to breathe deeper, to sink even further into this unfamiliar serenity. Your thoughts may drift again, but like clouds shifting in a summer sky, they are fleeting. Instead, You bring your awareness back to the here and now, the sound of water splashing, the soft thud of a glass being set down, and the richness of the warm air brushing your skin. This moment is enough. You are enough, and all that exists is the now. As the last dish is rinsed and set to dry, you step back to take inventory of the sink, a small sanctuary now cleared of clutter. The satisfaction wells within you, a sense of accomplishment. But deeper still, a peace that arises from the simplicity of the task. You allow yourself to stand in this moment of completion, breathing in the aromatic hints of soap and the lingering warmth of the afternoon sun with a newfound clarity. You glance out the window to the garden, colors ablaze in vibrant hues, deep greens, vivid flowers nodding gently, welcoming the evening light. Each blossom sways to the tune of the breeze, untouched by the frantic pace of the world. Here, in this quiet corner of your life, you realize that mindfulness weaves itself into every experience, every task, as long as you are willing to embrace what is done. And in this embrace, you discover an insight, a gentle reminder that emerges like the sun at dawn. It is not the task itself that holds significance, but the way you show up to meet it, the way you allow each moment to unfold without the need to rush, transform, or judge. Often, it is in these simplest of acts, in the pouring of water or the washing of dishes, that we find the depth of our own connection to life. As you finish the last of your task, take a moment to savor the stillness that surrounds you, the quiet hum of the home, the gentle sway of the world outside. A warmth radiates from within, a contentment that cannot be apprehended, only felt. Here, in this sacred space of presence, you carry a piece of that calm with you as you step into the embrace of the rest of your day, deeply rooted in the rhythm of life, open to each moment as it arrives. In this moment, as you settle into your seat, gently close your eyes if it feels comfortable, or soften your gaze upon a spot in the room. Take a deep breath in, allowing the air to fill your lungs, expanding your belly like a soft balloon, and then slowly release it, feeling the weight of the day beginning to dissolve. Inhale again, savoring the crisp sensation of breath, and exhale, letting go of any tension you may be holding. As you draw your awareness inward, allow thoughts to float by like leaves on a stream, acknowledging their presence without judgment. Here, in this space, we invite you to become a witness to life as it unfolds, to embrace the simplicity and profundity of each moment. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind that came gently to life, hinting at a day both ordinary and profound. Sunlight spilled through the window, casting warm pools of light on the wooden floor, creating patterns that danced ever so slightly with the breeze. The kitchen, still adorned with the remnants of a simple breakfast, felt like a sanctuary, a space where time could stretch, where stillness could dwell amidst the clamor of life. You move to the sink, the soft clink of ceramic dishes providing a rhythmic backdrop as you prepare to wash. The water flows crisp and clear, cascading from the faucet like a gentle stream, reflecting the sunlight in a playful shimmer. You pause for a moment, hands hovering over the water, feeling the coolness before it warms to the temperature of your skin. As you submerge the first plate, your fingers embrace its smooth surface. There is a sensation of both solidity and vulnerability, as if the plate holds the stories of countless meals shared. The warm, soapy water envelops your hands, creating a soft barrier against the world. As you scrub, the scent of lemon and apple blossoms mingles, filling the air with a soothing aroma that sparks a nostalgic memory of spring days long past. Each dish becomes a small world as you immerse yourself in the act, lifting a bowl and watching the beads of water race down its curve. The sound of water splashing, the soft clinking of porcelain against porcelain, all form a gentle symphony that draws you deeper into presence. With each circular motion, you discover a deeper level of awareness, not just of the dishes, but of yourself, thoughts silently surfacing, then fading like the bubbles that form and dissolve. Maybe a thought drifts in, an urgent reminder of a task left undone, or a worry about tomorrow begins to bubble to the surface. Instead of pushing it away, you allow it to be, recognizing it as part of the greater rhythm of your mind, like ripples on the surface of a pond, momentary and transient. You bring your attention back to the water, the gentle friction of the sponge against the plate, the warm embrace of the soapy liquid. In this simplicity, you find a subtle invitation to just be . As you place the cleaned dishes in a drying rack, you notice a small, delicate vase nestled there, an heirloom passed down through generations, fragile yet unyielding. Your fingers graze its surface, the coolness reminding you of the circular nature of life, fragility embraced by strength. Moments cherished through care. It echoes the stories of laughter and sadness, of gatherings and silences, much like the feelings that quietly settle within your heart. With each new dish, you dedicate this moment not just to cleansing, but to honoring the meals shared, the friendships forged, the love poured into every moment of connection. You feel the familiar weight of gratitude expand in your chest with every rinse. The water flows freely, a reminder of the ebb and flow of all things. The rhythm envelops you, and you surrender to it, like a leaf caught in the tender caress of a stream. Gradually, you find yourself drawing back mentally into a more expansive awareness. You step away from the dishes, perhaps a bit too soon, but so acutely aware of the stillness echoing around you. The quiet hum of the refrigerator coexists with the faint chirping of birds outside, a celebration of this peaceful morning unfolding. As you turn away from the sink and step into the sunlight pouring through the window, you feel its warmth on your skin, a gentle kiss from the universe, a reminder that life in all its simplicity pulses around you. You allow your gaze to drift out the window where trees dance in slow motion, their leaves shimmering in the light breeze. The colors blend harmoniously, greens kissed with gold, revealing the beauty of the present moment. The awareness of your surroundings begins to expand further, how the air feels as it brushes past your cheeks, how the shadows waltz across the floor, reminding you that the day is both bright and dim, filled with contrasts. Such is the nature of life. You breathe, yet again, allowing your heart to fill with the gentle rhythm of existence. Grateful, you stand for a moment longer, absorbing the vibrant life outside, feeling the echo of warmth in your chest that radiates outward. Every breath seems to say, here I am. With intention, you decide to step forward, leaving the dishes behind confidently, no longer a task on the to-do list, but a part of the living tapestry of the day. With each stride, you carry the warmth of the sunlight and the serenity of the moment, feeling deeply rooted in this very experience. In the midst of our lives, the ordinary can emerge as extraordinary when we open ourselves to presence. Like the simple act of washing dishes, moments can cradle the weight of reflection, renewal, and gratitude. In letting go of the incessant urges to rush or worry, we invite peace into our hearts. As you return to the rhythm of your day, carry this gentle awareness with you, a reminder that each moment, no matter how seemingly mundane, is a sacred opportunity to step into life, to embrace, and to simply be. In this moment, take a breath, hail deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs, hold it for a heartbeat, and then gently release, noticing how the breath flows in and out like the soft waves of a distant tide. Allow your body to relax into the space around you, feeling the weight of your presence in this very moment. As we embark on this journey, let your mind settle like leaves drifting on the surface of a quiet pond, surrendering your thoughts to the gentle sway of the water. Here, We embrace the now, where time seems to stretch, okay, and everything else begins to fade away. A crisp autumn morning awakens the world outside. The sun spilling golden light through the window as it filters past the trees. Their leaves, a kaleidoscope of russet and amber, rustling softly in the breeze. In a modest kitchen, illuminated by this gentle glow, a woman named Clara takes a moment before the day unfolds. She stands before the sink, a mountain of dishes waiting for her, each plate and cup a small island in a sea of warm, soapy water. Clara rolls up her sleeves and observes the scene before her, the delicate dance of sunlight as it catches the bubbles that begin to form. They rise, shimmering like tiny stars, each one reflecting a moment, a thought, a memory. She breathes in, drawing the scent of citrus from the dish soap, invigorating and fresh, and lets out a sigh that speaks of the day's tasks, the expectations she carries. Yet in this space, the world feels different, only for a heartbeat. As she dips her hands into the warm, soapy water, she feels the gentle embrace of the liquid. Every bubble embracing her fingertips, a reminder of the fluidity of life itself. She picks up a plate, its surface cool against her palm, and begins to wash. The rhythm of her movements splash, swirl, rinse becomes a timeless song, each action a note in a symphony of simplicity. The brush of the sponge against the plate becomes more than just a chore. It morphs into a dance, a way to connect with her surroundings with the essence of presence. She notices the sound of water as it pours over the plates, a soft patter that resembles rain tapping on a window, calming and steadying. It drowns out the noise of a busy world beyond those walls. There is only the sound of water and the gentle clinking of dishes, each note resonating with clarity. Clara allows herself to be enveloped in this intimate moment, feeling the warmth of the water seep into her skin, grounding her thoughts with every gentle caress. In this microcosm of her kitchen, Clara's mind starts to wander. A thought drifts by like a fallen leaf. It flutters in, its edges frayed, a reminder of yesterday's conversation with a friend that left her feeling unsettled. She catches the leaf in her mind and examines it without judgment. Its colors are muted yet vibrant, its story intricate yet simple. Clara reminds herself to let it go, to hold it lightly like the fragile structure of a leaf itself. She returns to the plates, her hands immersed in the rhythm of washing. Each plate she cleans signifies the release of a burden, the shedding of a worry. As she scrubs, the echoes of her thoughts begin to settle. The warmth of the sun spills further into the room, wrapping around her like a soft blanket, coaxing her to slow down and simply be. The wash water swirls gently around the base of the sink, carrying with it not only soap and grime, but also the remnants of her thoughts, slowly disentangling from her mind. Clara finds herself smiling softly at the day ahead, feeling lighter as the plates emerge from the water, gleaming like new beginnings. Cash. There is beauty in the mundane, she realizes, a magic that weaves through the fabric of life, often unnoticed. As she rinses the final plate and sets it on the drying rack, she pauses. A moment of stillness washes over her, and she takes a deep breath, savoring the warmth of gratitude that blooms within her heart. She turns to the window and looks outside. The trees sway leisurely, an invitation to dance, bathed in that golden light. The world is alive, each leaf whispering secrets only she can hear. Clara feels a tug at her heart, a desire to carry this moment with her, to weave it into the fabric of her day. She fills the kettle with fresh water, placing it on the stove to boil, its presence a promise of comfort in the shape of tea. As the water bubbles and breathes, she closes her eyes for just a moment, allowing the steam to envelop her face. Here is warmth, a sense of home, an echo of connection to herself and the world. And so, as she prepares her tea, she knows that mindfulness is not merely about slowing down. It's about experiencing each moment, every sip, every glance, every sound as it unfurls. It is the gentle act of choosing to be present, of noticing the way the light dances in the cup, or how the steam rises and twirls, sending her thoughts soaring. When she finally sits down at her kitchen table with her cup of tea, she is amazed by how different the world looks, not because it has changed, but because she has chosen to see it anew. The sounds outside come alive, the laughter of children playing, the distant hum of the street, the chirping of birds, each note a reminder of the vibrant life that carries on regardless of the worries that sometimes weigh heavy on her heart. There, cradled in the warmth of her mug, Clara observes the simplicity of her surroundings, the way the light dances across the table, the slight imperfections in the wood, the way the steam swirls and curls in the air. It is all so ordinary and yet so extraordinary when viewed through the lens of presence. She sips her tea slowly, allowing the warmth to spread from her lips down to her core, a hug from the inside as she continues to drink. She feels the boundless stillness settling within her, like the last flicker of daylight as it surrenders. To dusk, Clara returns to her breath, aware of the pulse of life that flows through her, connecting her to everything around her in the moments that follow. She no longer rushes to fill the silence, but instead, she embraces it. Each breath, an embodiment of patience. Each pause, a reminder of the beauty of being. And so, dear listener, as we draw our story to a close, may you carry with you the echoes of this morning, a quiet tale of everyday life, where mindfulness lies nestled in the ordinary. In stillness and presence, we may find clarity even amid chaos, reminding ourselves that each moment is an opportunity, subtle yet profound. Let the rhythm of your breath guide you back to this quiet space whenever you need, for peace resides not far away. It rests gently within your reach, always waiting for you to return. In the gentle embrace of a morning light, a soft stillness envelops you. The world outside is waking, yet within you find a quiet sanctuary. Sit comfortably, taking a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, let go of the weight of yesterday and the worries of tomorrow. Allow your awareness to settle in this very moment, like a feather drifting softly to earth. Here, in the simplicity of now, you are invited to engage with life just as it is, to witness the tapestry of your day begin to unfold. Imagine, if you will, a kitchen splashed with the warm hues of morning sunlight. A steady rhythm begins to fill the space. It's a gentle hum of a kettle, the distant chirping of birds heralding a new day, and the comforting sound of water pouring into a basin. It is here, at the sink, that our journey unfolds. You step closer to the sink. The coolness of the porcelain meets your fingertips as you lean in. You turn on the faucet and the water cascades down, bubbles forming, alive and dancing. You take a moment to simply watch. Each droplet is a tiny world, reflecting the sun's gentle kiss into a spectrum of brilliance. You hear the water's symphony and orchestra of splashes, gurgles, and echoes, reminding you of the soothing quality of presence. As you sink into your awareness, begin to gather the dishes, each one a vessel containing memories of meals shared and laughter exchanged. A chipped mug, relic of a rainy afternoon spent reading. Plate that once cradled a feast of colors. A pan that tells the story of a spontaneous stir-fry. Every dish a whisper of the moments that have come to pass. With the dish in hand, you turn back to the water, its warmth wrapping around you like a comforting blanket. You dip the dish into the basin, and immediately the touch of water against your skin awakens 1,000 tiny sensations. You feel the gentle tug of the current, the sensation of water pooling in the curves and crevices of the plate. Each movement becomes a meditation, the light scrubbing, the sounds of porcelain against porcelain, and the fleeting sense of soap mingled with the air, a delicate perfume of cleanliness. How freeing it feels to be here in this humble act, where thoughts start to dissolve like the suds that arise. As you move, you invite awareness into your body, the slight bend of your knees, the steady rhythm of your breath, the miracle of being alive. Imagine the soft weight of your heart settling, unburdened, finding peace in the flowing water and the enlightening mindfulness entrenched in each action. In this sacred moment, you lift a dish to the light, watching it sparkle and glimmer, droplets dancing joyfully upon its surface. The light plays tricks, creating a mini universe on the plate, vivid reflections, capturing the essence of the day. You feel invincible, yet grounded, connected to everything around you, beautiful, part of the vast whole. Next, the sponge is cradled in your palm, its textured surface inviting you to explore the nuances of touch. With a gentle caress, you glide the sponge over the surface, tracing the outline of the bowl. The sensation is mesmerizing. The push and pull dance rhythmically as the suds emerge. They rise in the warm embrace of the water, a soft, frothy cloud that briefly obscures your vision, yet reveals so much in its transient existence. Thoughts bubble up, perhaps they drift towards responsibilities, worries about the day ahead, but they are met with gentleness. Like soap bubbles, they materialize vividly, yet dissipate swiftly, floating farther into the ether. You watch them, not clinging or pushing away, just observing as they fade softly with each exhalation. As you lean into the experience, the sound of the water becomes deeper, its cadence transforming into a whisper, a companion urging you to inhabit this moment fully. Sensing this rhythm, your breath synchronizes with each inhale, drawing in the present, each exhale releasing the past. And then the moment comes when you reach for the rinse. The coolness of the water flows over the warm dish, cleansing away the remnants of the soap, carrying away gentle bubbles into the quiet abyss of the drain. You watch as they swirl down, a mini cyclone of invisible life, a helping of nature's flow. How simple, and yet how profound it feels to witness the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. Now, each dish finds its resting place stacked neatly. It's an array of stories waiting to unfold. You pause, taking a step back to admire your work, a sense of quiet satisfaction filling the air. The kitchen, bathed in sunlight, glows with a freshness that wraps around you like a tender embrace. You breathe deeply, settling into the calm that envelops the space. The world outside continues to beat its own rhythm, yet here, in this moment, you are cocooned in peace. Gratitude wells in you, an appreciation for the simplicity of this task, for the ability to partake in this ordinary magic, the joy found in caring for your surroundings, in presence, in delight. As you turn off the faucet and the last echoes dissolve into stillness, carry this sense of mindfulness with you throughout your day. Let it guide you like a quiet whisper, reminding you that every moment is an invitation to tread lightly, to embrace presence, to touch with the softness of awareness. The world is alive, and so are you, woven into its unfolding tapestry. Let this feeling accompany you, a gentle reminder that peace resides within the ordinary, waiting for you to embrace it. As you take a moment to tune in to your breath, feel the life that flows through you like a gentle stream in a sunlit glade. Inhale and let the air fill your lungs, imagining it as a warm embrace. Exhale softly, releasing any tensions or thoughts that cling like shadows. Allow yourself to settle into this space, a sanctuary of stillness where the present moment unfolds like the petals of a flower. It is here, in this serene pause, that we invite a story to take shape, a simple offering, drawn from the fabric of our everyday lives. It was a quiet afternoon, the kind that drapes the world in a soft glow, inviting stillness and reflection. The sun filtered through the kitchen window, casting dancing patterns upon the worn wooden countertop. For the moment, time seemed to slow, allowing the ordinary to breathe. Maya stood at the sink. The deep porcelain basin filled with warm, soapy water. The familiar rhythm of dishwashing was a dance, a sacred ritual performed in solitude. As she submerged her hands into the bubbly water, she felt the warmth envelop her fingers, the sensation a welcome contrast to the cool air in the room. She picked up a plate, its surface glazed with a constellation of remnants from lunch. With each gentle scrub, she brought her attention to the smooth texture of the dish, to the sound of the ceramic against the sponge, one soft, rhythmic swish at a time. The water whispered as it splashed, singing a low note that reverberated in the quiet of the afternoon. Maya leaned closer, inhaling the subtle scent of the dish soap, a mix of lemon and tranquility. It filled the space, mingling with the air around her, turning the mundane into something sacred. As she stood there, she noticed an inclination to drift away into thoughts, a list of tasks, the noise of the outside world, the worries that often crowded her mind. The key, but in that moment, she chose to stay. A key, she carved out a pocket of stillness, just for herself, focusing back on the plate. She noticed how the suds glimmered like tiny stars, reflecting the sunlight that streamed in. Each plate that emerged from the water was not just a plate. It became a canvas on which mindfulness was painted. She rinsed it under the faucet, feeling the water cascade over her fingertips, washing away the remnants of lunch as easily as it washed away distractions. Time swayed as she moved from plate to fork to mug. Each item spoke to her, fork with a gentle curve, a mug that held the warmth of morning tea. In that moment of presence, they were not just utensils. They were tokens of life lived, each with its own story of nourishment and warmth shared around the table. Each clink of porcelain, each splash of water became a mantra, a gentle reminder to remain anchored in the now. She was not just washing dishes, she was dancing with mindfulness, discovering depth in the simplicity of the task at hand. With each passing moment, her surroundings faded away, and there was only the sound of water and the touch of warmth. In a fleeting moment, she glanced outside. The garden was vibrant, a tapestry of colors painted by the hands of time. She noticed a single butterfly flit from flower to flower, its delicate wings moving with a grace that drew her attention. For just a heartbeat, the fleeting nature of life fell into perspective, each moment as brief and beautiful as the flutter of those wings. Returning her focus to the sink, Maya took a breath, noticing the air filling her lungs once more. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the mundane, for the heartbeats drumming steady in her chest, for the sacredness of simple tasks performed with love. The dishes began to shine, their surfaces reflecting not only the sunlight, but her willingness to be present, to engage fully with the now. With each passing dish, she began to rise, buoyed on a wave of awareness. She watched her thoughts like clouds passing across the sky of her mind, some dark, some light, without judgment, simply observing. This too shall pass, she thought, as she allowed unhelpful worries to drift away. Much like the soap bubbles that floated gently upward before disappearing, the last dish emerged from the warm wash, a glistening finish illuminating the small kitchen. Maya placed it carefully on the drying rack, each movement mindful and intentional, as though planting seeds of peace into the ground of her soul. She stepped back, surveying her work, the small mountain of clean dishes, sparkling like fresh snow on a bright morning. In that moment of completion, she felt a wave of contentment wash over her. It was not in the act of finishing that she found peace, but in every loving moment spent in the process. In each pulse of breath woven into the fabric of her day, Maya began to dry her hands on a towel, feeling the soft cotton against her skin, a gentle reminder to embrace the texture of life, both the smooth and the rough. As she folded the towel, She recalled the butterfly, that fleeting beauty, dancing through the air, and a knowing settled in. Just like those delicate wings, life was ephemeral, yet profoundly rich in its simplicity. With a quiet heart, Maya made her way to the window, looking out at the garden once more. The butterfly was gone, but the flowers continued to sway gently in the breeze, a soft undulation that echoed the rhythm of her breath. In this moment, she understood the truth of being present amidst the chaos, amidst the stillness. There was beauty to be found everywhere as you step back from this humble tale of washing dishes. Let it remind you of the beauty that lies in every ordinary moment. Each task, each breath is an opportunity to anchor yourself in the now. Okay? In the simple act of being, we find our place in the fabric of existence. Okay? This sense of presence with you, just as Maya did, allowing the whispers of water and light to guide you home to your heart, to your breath, to the unending grace of simply being. In the quiet hush of the world, as the sun dips low and begins to whisper its golden secrets to the horizon, let us take a moment to find our breath. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs with the air that carries the essence of all that surrounds you. Feel the weight of your body, the grounding connection with the earth beneath you. Each sound, each sensation invites you to be present, to settle into this very moment. Allow thoughts to come and go like leaves drifting on a gentle stream. There is no need to hold on to them. Now, let us step gently into a story where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. In presence unfurls like petals of a blooming flower. In an unassuming kitchen, a soft patter begins to dance upon the roof. The sound of rain punctuates the stillness, falling like gentle whispers from the clouds above, weaving a tapestry of sound that invites reflection. This day is a rich blend of ordinary moments, a day like any other, yet steeped in its own unique essence. The kitchen is filled with the warm scent of baking bread, a recent creation meant to pour nourishment into the lives of family and friends. As the sweet aroma drifts through the air, it becomes an anchor, tying one's senses to the present moment. Ellen stands by the sink, hands immersed in a gentle cascade of bubbles rising from the soapy water. The faint echo of raindrops serenading the room. She turns on the faucet, the water spinning as it flows, creating a stream that mirrors the gentle rhythm of the rainfall outside. Ellen allows herself to be enveloped in this moment, surrendering to the task at hand. Each dish is a small offering, a container of presence, beckoning her to slow down. Each vessel carries the stories of shared meals, laughter, and connections made around the table. She reaches for a mug, its ceramic surface cool against her fingertips, alive with the memory of a warmth once held. With each stroke of the sponge, she notices the suds bursting into tiny silvery globes, floating away, each one a world of its own. The gentle scrubbing frees her mind from the chatter of the day. There is only the mug, the water, the bubbles. There is only now, as she rinses the mug, the water cascades over her hands. Each droplet a moment, each splash a whisper of here and now. Ellen smiles softly, aware of the way the water dances before her, illuminating the tiny sparkles that catch the light like stars in the daylight. She stretches her senses wider, feeling the coolness of the water, the soft texture of the sponge, the warmth of the air infused with the scent of bread. The boundaries of herself seem to blur, dissolving into the simple act of being outside. The rain comes alive, a symphony of drops tapping against windows, each note a testament to existence. It invites her to breathe in this music. She pauses, allowing herself to listen, to feel the air shift. There is a stillness, a spaciousness. The world outside is transformed, cloaked in a veil of moisture, as if the earth has chosen this very moment to cleanse, to renew. Ellen picks up a plate, its surface still marked by remnants of dinner, a reminder of a time shared with those she loves. As she scrubs, she lets the thoughts of the day seep in what to cook next, the busy schedule ahead, but she gently nudges them away, turning her focus to the simple act of cleaning. With each stroke, she is sweeping away not just crumbs, but the weight of expectations and worries, revealing the shiny, untouched space beneath. This act, this ritual of washing dishes, unfolds as a harmonious dance, every movement fluid and intentional. She draws her breath slowly, a nourishing intake followed by a soft release. In this rhythm of sensation, of warmth and coolness, of light and shadow, she finds a refuge, a pocket of peace amid the ever-spiraling demands of life. As she finishes with the final plate, she stands for a moment, hands resting in the warm water, gazing through the window. The rain continues its song, each droplet a moment unfolding, cascading down the glass. She realizes that just as the rain nourishes the earth, this mindful presence nourishes her spirit, each slow, deliberate moment restoring her to herself. In this space, time feels like a gentle ebb and flow. The world outside is both distant and close, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. She wipes her hands on a dish towel, feeling its softness and simplicity. The fabric absorbing the remnants of the task she embraced. With a gentle twist, she pauses one last time, allowing the moment to settle like dust in a sunbeam. The calmness threading its way through her being died as the rain begins to taper off. Leaving behind a world painted in vibrant hues, Ellen steps back from the sink. She feels a subtle shift within, a soft understanding that life is woven from these everyday experiences, each one a thread in the tapestry of existence. Embracing this realization, she opens her heart to the next moment, knowing that, like the raindrops, each second holds the promise of renewal and connection. Here, in the simplicity of being, she finds peace. All is well. All is present.